Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing, jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Yeah, it's a broadcast. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing, jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Yeah, it's a broadcast. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing, jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Yeah, it's a broadcast. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing, jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show.
Yo, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. DJ Hamp Stampede in the building. Salute to everybody in the building so far. Let me see in the chat real quick and we get it popping, man. Mr. Williams was good. Salute. Keeps it 100. I see you. GA was popping. D Majesty was goody. Imperial, salute. Dooch was popping, my G. Good to see you. Lee was goody. Fish in the fit in the building. Artifacts was popping. Good to see you, man. OG Vet Life in the building was good. Salute. That's a fact though. There he is, man. Thank you for the what you say? The commentary, the conversation we had. That means a lot, man. I appreciate that, man. Keep grinding, you heard? Almond Eyes was popping. Saw it in the building. Salute, salute, salute. My brother Quincy was goody. Little Rock, salute my G. Hope all is well. Hope everything's everything. Not but behaving. That's always a blessing. My brother Riff was shaking. Hope everything's everything. Insane in the building. Salute, salute, salute. Big Norm was popping. Saw it putting in work. My brother the second in the building. Cali was popping. Dr. G putting in work. That's always a blessing. Audie was shaking my G. Call me Queen T in the building. Homeboy, Shalawam. Kurt, what up, baby? Good to see you. Salute, man. Thanks, Lee. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. AC was popping. CJ was good, my brother. My brother Foe in the building. Jock Quinn, good to see you, man. Yo, what's that? This T Savant, man. Salute, salute, salute. T was popping, sis. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Levi Jones in the building, man. Let's get it, man. Like, share, subscribe. Salute to the 100 people in the building. Please hit the like button. That helps the channel the most. I have a aggressive goal today. Hopefully we can meet it. We shall see. You know what I mean? But hit the like button, man. Salute to everybody in the building. I think that we had a hell of a week of shows, and these shows were pretty impactful for several reasons, you know? We was having different conversations, especially the Wednesday show. And you could tell people were affected in a different way based on that conversation, from the chat to the panel, the aftermath of comments and all that. So I think it's something that we really need to mind through and assess. I could not get this word out my head, this phrase, you know? And all I could see is the little Chinese girl climbing through the window of the TV on that movie, The Grudge. Put a one in the chat if you saw The Grudge. If you know the backstory, it's like she had a bone to pick and wouldn't leave until that bone was picked, essentially, with that movie. But it's less about that premise and just about how we conduct ourselves towards each other, you know? And what does that come from? The grudge is something I could not get out my head. It's like we got a grudge against one another that supersedes any and all other aspects of grudges that we probably should be having. You know, we got so much grace, and it wasn't them. They weren't the people there. That's their ancestors, for so many people who don't look like us. But we got these overwhelming grudges towards each other and also people that look like us. We legit, during our conversations, have way more vitriolic conversations with the tethers than we do the white people that hit the panel about racial issues. We seem to find so much grace for people that don't look like us doing a thing because either they didn't do it, and we forget the fact that maybe they've been benefiting from it. It's just interesting to see the grudge we have with each other. When you think about it, right? When all my brothers edify me on why the Black Manosphere was started, it was because Black women were getting their shit off for so long, and it's like, now that we got the internet and these platforms, it's our turn. It was said that the Black women, and salute the media man, you literally use his clips to show the different talk shows where, you know, Black men would be talked down upon. So then the Black Manosphere came about and said, nah, it's our turn to fight back. Now, how do y'all feel about grudges? And I'm saying feel. How do you feel about grudges? How long does a grudge last? Forever? Does it ever stop? Do we ever say, all right, I'm good now? You know, I know these two people that fought every single day. Every single day, bro. Rakim and Puda Man fought every single day until Rakim finally won one of them fights. I think Puda might have let him win, honestly, because he fought him for 30 days straight. But once he got the win, the grudge ended. It stopped. So I'm trying to figure out how we chop this shit up in our heads. What does it look like? Let me show you a few clips, right? Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Salute everybody in the building. Let's get it popping. So, this right here, man. Let's assess this real quick, okay? I'm using a new system. Let me know what y'all think of it. Salute everybody in the building. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.
Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? What's going on? What's going on? Rockefeller. Steady. Are you ready? Are you ready? What's going on?
I need your honest response to this video here.
Joking, we really mean what we say.
Do you find yourself really hating white people?
Yes. Some people hold grudges, and I do. Look how they treat me. How many flows did my great-grandmother stroll, you know? How many babies did she take care of that wasn't hers? You know, stuff like that. And I'm just one of those people that hold things. You know, we're not joking, we really mean what we say.
Do you find yourself really hating white people?
Yes. Some people hold grudges, and I do. Look how they treat me. How many flows did my great-grandmother stroll, you know? How many babies did she take care of that wasn't hers? You know, stuff like that. And I'm just one of those people that hold things. You know, we're not joking, we really mean what we say.
Do you find yourself really hating white people?
Yes. Some people hold grudges, and I do. Look how they treat me. How many flows did my great-grandmother stroll, you know? How many babies did she take care of that wasn't hers? You know, stuff like that. And I'm just one of those people that hold things. You know, we're not joking, we really mean what we say.
She was clear, concise. She said the things that were done to us, were done to our grandmas and great-grandmas, is a reason why I hold this disposition. What do you guys think about that? What we usually hear is, you know, we have a conversation so often when we try to focus on these different aspects of, you know, who done what to us, how we got here. People admit that there's a systematic issue that got us to where we are. But we show so much more grace because those people weren't there, because they didn't do it. Racism doesn't exist. It don't hold you back in which way, shape, or in some way, shape, or form now today. You know? But I ask you though, why was that grudge so easy for us to release? Why do we give so much grace to those people? Because that's way more traumatic. We'll even say that they used the black woman as a tool for white supremacy. A hammer can be a weapon. A hammer can use to knock nails in the wall. Do you blame the hammer or the manipulator of the hammer? How does this work? But did you hear her grudge? She said it plain out. But I'm just trying to figure out what's worse. What's more impactful? Who should we actually have a grudge with? We hear it all the time. They say, a man did this to me. I was naive. I was foolish. I was stupid. I got hoodwinked. I got bamboozled. Niggas ain't shit. So now your disposition changes towards damn near all men in the earth. There's no love. There's no care. There's no concern for men. They don't even want to cook for us. So no, I'm not helping you carry the water. I'm not helping you carry the water. I'm not opening the door for you. I'm not helping you in the gym. Me Too movements and all that. It ain't worth the risk. Is the grudge that we have between each other valid? And to what extent? Who do we agree with when they saying the things they saying? Let me show y'all this. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, man. Salute to everybody in the building. We almost got 200 people in the building already. Please hit the like button if you can. That helps the channel the most.
It's a food program that you have and feeding children and so forth. I'm sure that everyone will agree that children should be fed. Children don't have food, and people who don't have medical aid should be given medical aid and so forth. But don't you provide an indoctrination also with the food, that the children are being indoctrinated into your philosophy and so forth, that when they grow up they'll be big Panthers?
What you call indoctrination, we call education. I say that they're being indoctrinated when you tell them to pick up a gun and go 10,000 miles and shoot somebody that never even called them nigger. What we do is educate them. We educate them to their own environment. We don't educate them about historians that are completely rejected, completely removed from their environment. We educate those people and those young people about the conditions in their community. We show them very physically the conditions in the white mother country, as sometimes referred to, and the situation in the black community. We show them and we point out to them the evildoers and the lawbreakers supposedly manifested in the peace officers. And we show them very concrete and real contradictions, but we do not indoctrinate them, we educate them.
Isn't this food program that you have and
The manipulation, right? The manipulation. The people that control the media are able to propagandize what they want, right? This man had the floor unadulterated and was able to clarify that. What you think is being communicated back in these days and times, right? They're saying that what these black men were doing at that time was bad for the kids in which they influenced. But why? But why? Why are the things that you do and you did are mischaracterized? Why is the propaganda about black people, both men and women, so overwhelmingly negative? Right? Salute to Chet for becoming a subscriber, which is overwhelmingly negative, right? Who's doing it? But why do we have so much grace for that? Why do we say, oh, well, you can change it. You just don't be them. If it don't apply, let it fly, right? But what I'm assessing is the amount of grace we have for the bullshit and what they say about us quite often. But then when it comes to each other, the grudge seem to be everlasting. And it's not about not having the conversations. I think the conversations are overwhelmingly necessary, you know, but the grudge that we have towards each other is the thing that I'm really trying to assess. And when it goes outside of us, outside of our community, outside of people that look like us, we got so much understanding. We can make a justification for all types of shit. We had men saying that history don't matter. What's the point of learning the history of your people? That was said. What's the point of reading books? How does that service you? That was said on a panel multiple times. Really a couple times. But I'm just trying to understand, you know, why we got so much heat and anger, why the grudge seems to be never ending between each other. But people that rape, rob, murdered, still kill, nepotism, built off the backs, literally, right? You can see past all that. What I'm saying is if you could see past shit, just see past it. Just be that nigga that sees past it. But then when you picking and choosing, oh, I give them grace over here. But the girls, nah. While saying they were used as a weapon. You give a pass over here, you'll come out your mouth to say, hey, you might need to divest. You might need to deal with a man that's not black. Like they ain't have breeding farms that was full of y'all. But then the man in closest proximity to you, nah. No grace for him. I'm trying to understand how we get here. Salute to my homeboy with the $10 says, for the goal. Salute, my G. Good to see you. Thank you for the support, as always. Black King, what's good, my G? He said, big up yourself, my general. Salute. What going on, my yo? Hope everything is everything, man. There he is. Salute with the $10 says, for the goal, hit the like button. Millennials versus the world. What's good, baby? Good to see you. Y'all over there grinding, man. I'm proud of y'all. Salute. He said with the $10 says, what up, Hamp? Showing love. Keep pushing things forward. I got you, man. For sure. Hit the like button, hit the like button, man. And it don't just stop there, right? It don't just stop there. It's not just about the men versus the women. What about the young versus old conversations we have? It's like we forget the things that we were subject to. Would our ancestors be proud of us today if they saw us, you know? I had a shirt that said, I'm trying to make my ancestors proud. Then we got another shirt that say, I'm not my ancestors. What the fuck are you talking about? Right? What does that mean? You don't think they was fighting? Right? Shah edified us a million times about how you think the emancipation shit started. Because black people were walking off those plantations. You never seen the videos with the dogs and the fire hoses? You think they was turning the other cheek? Right? But we'll say things and then say another thing that disrespect the thing that we want to make our ancestors proud about. The young versus old conversation. I remember I had several shows and I could not get through it because the disrespect was at an all-time high from either side, either the older versus younger or vice versa. Right? When do we dismiss someone's opinion based on their age? How does this happen? You know, do you come into a conversation being honest? Do we respect our elders? Do the elders respect us? How does this work? Let me show y'all this, man. So this sent Salute to Sard. A couple other people sent this to me. I just found a couple clips that were reasonable. I couldn't go watch the whole thing.
Daddy, are you ready? Are you ready? What's going on? What's going on? Rockefeller. Steady, are you ready? Are you ready? What's going on?
Whole nother era than any of you Negroes is talking about. And I'm not saying I'm right, but most of this was laid on our parents' parents.
Yeah.
My father was born in 1915. His grandparents were slaves. So it's not your mother's fault. It's not your father's fault. It's not your fault. We were born into 450 years of post-slavery PTSD. I am 69, be 70 in March. I've just learned how to love. Our parents didn't know how to love. Their parents didn't know how to love. And if I could say anybody maybe had an edge, it was the women. That's why I celebrate Black women. I live with a psychiatrist, forensics detective, gangster, loving, who's just been patient with me to teach me how to love. I called my buddy, man. I said, I'm fucking up, bro, really bad. So I never been monogamous. So I don't fucking know what it is.
What age did you become monogamous?
Today. We don't talk about dopamine being in a pleasant center of the brain. Oxytocin is called the cuddle hormone. So a lot of times we're just talking in generalities. A counselor is gonna get inside of this from a real scientific perspective. Yes. So when I hurt my girl, which I've done over and over, and I commend her for even being with me, I called one of my partners who's brilliant. He said, when you hurt somebody, where you leave them is where they stay. So I think our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, our people that raised us, it all comes from out of all of that.
One thing that I just want to talk about, accountability, like, yes, we can talk about what our families did to us, but eventually comes a point where you have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you know, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired. Everybody in here, several people have talked about going to counseling. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon yourself.
Let me address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know fucking how to
love. Can I say one more thing?
On.
No, I have to say this, because another thing that happens is, too, you live your life for so long, and I'm not meaning no disrespect by this.
It's all right, just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me...
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me, and that's what a lot of women have issues with.
Because I'm living it right the fuck now.
As I said, I said 60s and 70s.
Let me say this.
Don't overtalk me.
I'm going to fucking overtalk you because you're talking out of line.
But you're not going to disrespect me.
You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Oh, I am.
I do. Love it.
I do.
You don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Oh, I do.
You can't shit.
I do.
You don't know it, nigga.
I do. I'm good.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Fuck out of here. You can't tell me what the fuck I'm living, nigga. You cannot fix no shit that you don't even know is happening. Let's get to the truth of this shit. You can't fix no shit unless you meet somebody on another level to help you elevate to understand. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm telling you what the shit is. You can't fix some shit that you don't know about, bro. And then you get there at 69 or 70 and say, I thought I was being loving all this time. I come from a whole nother era than any.
Maybe I should have watched this. Maybe I should have watched this before. So what? Okay. So Clifton. Okay, hold on. Cause I got one more. Let me see if this one shows us something different.
I'm 70 years old. So I come from a whole nother era than any of you Negroes is talking about. And what I've learned, and I'm not saying I'm right, I think everybody is right. Because there's so many levels to this. But most of this was laid on our parents' parents.
Yeah.
My father was born in 1915 and his parents were slaves. Well, his grandparents were slaves. So what I've learned is It's not your mother's fault. It's not your father's fault. It's not your fault. We were born into 450 years of post-slavery PTSD. I am 69, be 70 in March. I've just learned how to love. Our parents didn't know how to love. Their parents didn't know how to love. And if I could say anybody maybe had an edge, it was the women. That's why I celebrate black women.
I just want to talk about in Luke, make sure I say the name right, crop this part out. Okay. What Luke brought up was like accountability, like, yes, we can talk about, you know, what our families did to us, all this, all that, but eventually, and I know why people try and say this, and I really don't like that, but eventually comes a point where you have to decide, how do I want to live my life? I haven't talked to my daddy in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about what my family has gone through. I know where I will go. So it's like, you know, you can only say that for so long. Black women are tired, and, you know, kind of like putting onto them like, hey, like, you didn't do this entirely, because everybody in here, several people have talked about, like, you know, going to counseling. Have that upon yourself. Stop waiting for a woman to tell you what you need to do. Take that upon yourself.
Let me address that real quickly. For me, I didn't know fucking how to love.
Can I say one more thing? No, I have to say this, because another thing that happens is, too, you live your life for so long, and I'm not meaning no disrespect by this.
It's all right, just say it, bro.
But when you hit your 60s and your 70s, I want to be right.
Okay, but let me...
I want to live my life right. I want someone to take care of me and protect me, and that's what a lot of women have issues with.
Because I'm living it right the fuck now.
As I said, I said 60.
I was just talking about I'm 70 years old.
So, is this the main part of this? Put a 1 in the chat if this is the main part of what they was asking me to watch. So, are we taken aback by him saying he didn't know how to love until he was 50, 60, 70 years old? Right? Do we weed through the hyperbole, or do we just say, yo, I'm dismissing it because it's such an extreme statement? What is the gay dude talking about? Is he gay? What is he saying? What is he saying? The man just said, when I'm watching it, I didn't know how to do these things. I guess he did exonerate the older generations because they didn't know no better. But I thought the phrase was, when you know better, you do better. Most of the time, you're just trying to keep everybody fed. You're trying to keep everybody together. There's a whole lot of things that get missed, even with parenting today, as an example. Raising the kids, you know. We both working, we both ripping and running, so you got the iPad for them. He said, black women are tired. What are you talking about? Because the dude Clifton just said women, I guess, had the opportunity to kind of learn more of those type of feelings and traits and how to love properly in terms of being nurturing and such. So he was saying he praised them because at least maybe they were taught how to love when the men weren't. So if Clifton said that, I don't even understand his reply. I think my camera getting hot. I don't really understand his reply. And then what are you doing all that yelling for? Because Clifton said, hey, yo, go ahead. Talk, speak your mind. Or, you know, how I be saying, talk your shit. Right? And then he paused, right? Because they're having a back and forth. And he's like, you're not going to cut me off. It's like he started speaking with a presupposition and an agenda. And so what we found out from this clip is the dude with the waves only on the side wasn't there to converse. Right? Once he heard the thing he didn't like, he responded as such. So what do we think? What type of vitriol did he have before he started speaking? Why did he feel that way towards Clifton specifically? What was his grudge about? What was his gripe about? Did I miss it? Is there a better clip? Yo, real shit. Yo, I swear, bro. It's crazy. So I kind of had it in the window. So now I tried to close it up, see if it'll cool down. But yeah, they were saying, yo, go watch this shit. Like, I don't know. But this is what we see, right? This is the behavior that don't be making a lot of sense. It makes sense, right? Because I'm coming to a situation because I ain't talked to my dad in 6 years. You remind me of him. You talking about you can't understand what he's saying about the monogamy aspect, right? Because you judging it based off of however you think that should or should not go, as opposed to having a conversation with the dude, right? We don't give a fuck about your dad either. We don't care about you talking to him, nor was it coherent about what you said. You like, I don't give a I haven't seen my dad in 6 years. I don't give a fuck about my family. I know how far I go. What does that even mean? I think they was clowning Clifton, but Clifton, when you understand what a nigga's saying, you understand what he's saying. Most men that have access to the women when they were younger struggle with monogamy forever and when they get older. That's what happens though. When you subject yourself to something, now you have a proclivity to that, and you gotta fight against it. You literally gotta mitigate shit for yourself. He said, I ain't never been monogamous. I ain't taken aback by that. He an actor in Hollywood. You think he do pretty good. I mean, I like his acting decently, you know. Y'all gotta go watch Who Made the Potato Salad when you get a chance. But what's the takeaway from this? What's the takeaway? I'm looking at the grudge that he brought to Clifton because he barely listened to him and didn't like one thing he said. And all that yelling, over talking, he's saying 60s and 70s to get somebody to take care of you. Clifton admitted his faults. He said the quiet part out loud. But this is what happens, bro. You got a grudge, you mad at somebody, and then when people come to conversations, they take it out on everybody else. Now everybody else is the person. Yeah, Almanize, I like that one. Now everybody's the person that you mad at, but you ain't actually talking to that person, but you acting like you are. And now we take that and we what's the woke terminology? Bleed on everybody else. You mad at John, you ain't mad at me. Right? You mad at Clarissa, you ain't mad at me. But we see it happening. You know? Now, I guess if I were to assess it even more, right? Clifton said he didn't know no better. It's hard to hear that from somebody who's 70 years old. You still don't know no better at 70. A lot of people are going to be like, come on, bro. But that ain't how wisdom works. Wisdom don't just come with age. So I'm just trying to figure out where do most people land with this, right? Just because you old don't mean that you gained a plethora of wisdom. But there's things he said in this clip that you could take away from. And there's things that you can give him correction on. I just don't know why the main guy, because this is what I kept seeing, he didn't say nothing to him worth taking away from. He tried to punch on Clifton for the things that Clifton already admitted to. But that is true for a lot of us. Kids were seen and not heard. A lot of edification was not given. People didn't teach us why, they just told us to do it. We know that. But he got a grudge with somebody. We don't give a fuck about your dad, but you told us about him. Interesting, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Ken, get right. What's goody? Salute to Ken in the building with the $5. He says, same conclusion I came to, my G. He says more that's revealing. If you can stand to listen further. Yeah, bro, I was trying. Yo, there's so much shit on there, man. I get so many clips. I just try to like weed through it. So I try to expedite this, you know? But the grudge, man. The grudge. We have so much heat for people and none for others. Even this, right? And I said this before on the stream, then we were conversing this morning, salute to the Discord. And I just want to reiterate this. It's crazy how the people that we are closest to, we take it for granted. It's crazy how the people, right, that we don't give grace to are the people that are closest to us. The people that we take liberties with most are the ones that can actually affect us, actually help us, will actually protect us, right? We actually get money with. And these are the people that we gain disdain for, right? We treat them so much more poorly because we in close proximity. We take it for granted often. You know? It's just interesting how that works out so long, man. And I think people just, familiarity breeds contempt and etc. You know? But your how we behave towards each other is another thing that we really, really got to mind through. So I'm about to bring up this show from Wednesday. And look at the grudge from the show on Wednesday. There's people in the earth that have done things to our people much more egregious and worse. And most people literally admit, systematically, we were pushed to a place. You can't talk that bootstrap shit to me, right? That shit don't work with me. You can't talk that fatherless shit to me. That shit don't work with me. I can acknowledge plights, how we get to a certain place, right? And I understand we still got to take advantage of the things that we have an opportunity to manipulate. Be ready so you don't got to get ready. But that doesn't mean the plights didn't exist or don't exist to this day. And there is a point where people need to be admonished for not trying harder, 100%. But I'm going to play a little bit of the show. And the thing that we're really looking at, man, is the grudge between us, while objectively comparing it and making it parallel to the grudges and grace that we give in other people that I guarantee have done much worse things. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, man. I think this is the part I want.
He said the black community is a matriarchy.
Yes. How is that possible if the men are there?
No,
I believe that the black women control the narrative in the black community.
What narrative? What are you saying? Like, we're talking about a societal perception of the black community.
What is okay? What is okay? What we do? What it looks like? Black women control that in the black community.
How?
Because they are the griots. They are the ones doing the teaching, right? They are in homes with the children by themselves.
Why?
By and large.
Why?
Because the patriarch is not there.
That's the point I'm making, Arnold. That's exactly, my brother. That's the problem.
That's the problem. But what is it? No, you said it's not a. You said it's not a matriarchy.
Right. He's saying.
But you are, hold up, Dr. G. But you identified the problem.
No, you did.
You said that's the problem.
2K said to go tell them that the men are back.
Oh, Dr. G, I don't think. Dr. G, I gave us two options. Okay. The two options.
I'm dealing with one of the options you gave, 2K. You said go tell them the men are back. My question is, are you back?
We never know. It was the perception. I said go down there and tell these folks whatever they perceive is over it. Cut the food stamps off. Cut the child support off. Cut the government assistance off and tell them that black men and black women are back as a unit.
I got a question too, Ben. How come white women receive more benefits than us, but it hasn't disenfranchised their community in the same way it did ours?
Yes, it has. For poor white people, it absolutely has. We are overrepresented when it comes to getting those benefits, right? If you line up 10 black people and 10 white people, there are going to be more black people on food stamps.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't think that's true.
It's not
This
true.
on my mama. This is my area of expertise.
Pull it up.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, I don't think that's in black women's best interest. Y'all ain't seen tyrannical until y'all let black men be in charge of y'all.
So, oh my
I
fucking God.
promise you, that leniency shit gonna go away. You ain't never heard a white man say, "Sod, I'ma shut you up. You wouldn't even be on this panel." You hear black men say that shit all the time. I promise you, this current state of black men, you do not want them ruling over you. They will take every right the white man gave your ass clean away. You ain't getting away with nothing, Jack.
Hell, I ain't trying to have a
I
gender
could kiss.
war.
I promise you. And
Well,
it's the influential ones. They're gonna be the leaders of the pack, and they want us in the back of the closet with a broom.
well, Sherelle, that wouldn't be true when you look who wrote the Save Act as an example. White men are taking it above and beyond and saying, not only do we want you to be quiet, we want to make sure you can't vote for who
The whole country. That's not. That's. I'm saying like black men are black men. The only
Yeah.
group of people that black men seem to
That's
want to
a
be tyrannical to it is black women.
I'm saying that's a convenient argument now. However, when we've been conversing about the Save Act, we're saying that it's particularly targeting the women.
Said.
You said that. That's the problem.
2K said to go tell them that the men are back.
Oh, Doc G, I don't think.
Listen to our conversation. I wound it on purpose. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. Listen to our conversation. This is the vitriol and the grudge to the point where you're better off being ruled by the people that raped, robbed, murdered, pillaged, set up breeding farms. You're still better off under them.
Dr. G, I gave us two options. Okay. The two options.
I'm dealing with one of the options you gave, 2K. You said go tell them the men are back. My question is, are you back?
We never
they're
know.
not.
It was the perception. I said go down there and tell these folks whatever they perceive is over it. Cut the food stamps off, cut the child support off, cut the government assistance off, and tell them that black men and black women are back as a unit.
I got a question too, man. How come white women receive more benefits than us, but it hasn't disenfranchised their community in the same way it did ours?
Yes, it has. For poor white people, it absolutely has. We are overrepresented when it comes to getting those benefits. Right? If you line up 10 black people and 10 white people, there gonna be more black people on food stamps.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't think that's true.
It's not true.
On my mama, this is my area of expertise.
Pull it up. But also, yeah, I don't think that's in black women's best interest. Y'all ain't seen tyrannical until y'all let black men be in charge of y'all.
So, oh my
I
fucking God.
promise you, that leniency shit gonna go away. You ain't never heard a white man say, "Sod, I'ma shut you up. You wouldn't even be on this panel." You hear black men say that shit all the time. I promise you, this current state of black men, you do not want them ruling over you. They will take every right the white man gave your ass clean away. You ain't getting away with nothing, Jack.
Hell, I ain't trying to have a
I
gender
could kiss.
war.
I promise you. And it's the influential ones. They're gonna be the leaders of the pack, and they want us in the back of the closet with a broom.
Well, Sherelle, that wouldn't be true when you look who wrote the Save Act as an example. White men are taking it above and beyond and saying, not only do we want you to be quiet, we want to make sure you can't vote for who your next president is. So that wouldn't be true.
I think that's white men trying to control the whole country. That's not. I'm saying like black men are black men. The only
Yeah.
group of people that black men seem to want to be tyrannical to it is black women.
I'm saying that's a convenient argument now. However, when we've been conversing about the Save Act, we're saying that it's particularly now, mind you, right? Just mind you. It was said that black men would be tyrannical to black women, right? And then based on what we've been speaking about regarding the Save Act and who it overwhelmingly affects, right? Who's targeted, who's vulnerable, it's the women. Sherelle makes a I think a fine counterclaim, whatever, right? So we just having a discourse about it. But look at the reactions. But look at the lack of reaction when the initial statement was made about how black men would lead their community. That's how deep the grudge is. Listen, right? That's how deep the grudge is. If you came late to the stream, process first. Listen to what it is that I'm talking about. That's how deep the grudge is. We can even see, we have understanding for why white men are saying repeal the 19th Amendment. Make it more difficult for people who don't have a birth certificate that may not match their current last name. We can understand that. They're actually attacking everybody, right? Look at the grudge we got between each other. Targeting the women, and the women are unevenly hurt by the SAVE Act specifically, or affected, whatever the proper word is. So that's what been being said. So we can't change it now, essentially.
Oh yeah,
and they've said,
I haven't been there for the Save Act.
I got you. They've also said emphatically, you heard the white Christian Ashley said, repeal the 19th. Those are white men saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I respond back?
Not the ones in power, the ones that hold power.
Sharia, name that time in history where black men predominantly beat black women ass.
I wouldn't know.
You can't find it. You know why? Because we never have. Black women getting beat on by black men is so rare that they made movies about it. If the shit was happening outside of each of our doors in our neighborhoods in our neighbor's house, it wouldn't be. We wouldn't even watch the movie.
It's happening next door to me right now.
Y'all got white women memories in y'all fucking head.
I literally
how can you say that experience? Like,
we don't remember this shit is happening now. The girl next door is getting beat. I consistently hear her screaming and getting slammed into walls in the house I live in now.
One girl out of how many you know? One woman out of how many you know?
The majority of black women I know have been abused by men.
Where's this time
black
in history where black men beat
we in it?
Women?
Let me just say this, right? This statement right here is not true, right? It's not true. These type of statements where people act like they listening to something that they never heard before. These conversations are coming from being outside. The difference is when you having it outside, you don't got nobody to push back on the bullshit that people are saying. If these things are said with people that you comfortable with, right, in an echo chamber, then it'll just forever be pushed and perpetuated. Up here, when these things are said, now you got a man that can speak out for the men. When we had the conversation, and I'll rewind it, about the education and the degrees, you had a woman that could speak up for the women with the education and the degrees. No, the conversation needs to be had, right? The decorum and conduct is the key, right? How people are conducting themselves is the key. But the conversation needs to be had so you don't have it in a vacuum to where if somebody says something that is unbecoming or needs to be checked, can actually get checked. Right? So when 2K says, can you substantiate that historically, right? That's a substantive conversation. But let's say Relly and Saw were just talking amongst themselves, right? And they agree based on a sentiment. Now what happens? So at the very least with the pushback, you can get it substantiated as opposed to it being predicated on how the people are conversing about feels. So you have to have opposing views to see what's actually right and accurate. The world went virtual for 4 years. The internet ain't going nowhere. Sorry. The barbershop is huge now. Sorry. The hair salon, or what's it called? Beauty salon is huge now. Sorry. So now you can't just run to your little podunk town and have this conversation at a little bullshit hair salon with one hair dryer and think that y'all right. Sorry, you can't be in bumfuck Mississippi. No shade to my Mississippi brothers. With them old rusty ass clippers and them old rusty ass chairs and that old rusty ass chessboard and think that y'all right. Sorry. That's not how it's working anymore. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Let me play a little bit more of this. Cheek, let me see if I know what I'm doing.
You don't. But I'm telling you, you don't have the power. You don't have the power to. But when we listen to your ideology and the things that you say, it does not. It does not. It's going to go from being at a rock and then going to a hard place. That is what. That's the environment that we as Black women are in. The white man is a rock. You are a hard place. We are going to get slammed either way we go.
All I hear is y'all would rather be with the fucking white man doing what the fuck y'all doing.
We're not living with the white man. We taking care of ourselves. We're trying to negotiate. We're trying to negotiate with the powers up in here because y'all.
Hold on, let me pause this real quick. Try and navigate this thing. Let me see. Let me see. All right, let me see. Hold on 1 second. All right. Cheek.
What's good? Can you hear me?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I'm trying to navigate this thing. Trying to get the hang of this. There we go. Yo, what's popping?
What's good, man?
What's good, man? I'm trying to review this shit. But my premise, I don't know if you've been here the whole show. But my premise is the grudge. You know? The grudge we particularly have between us. I was playing that part just because you can see the responses based on the talking point. When honestly, based on the talking points, the responses should kind of be similar. But we show so much grace in other aspects where we should probably have a grudge. But we have so much more understanding. We make sense out of racist sentiments, thoughts, racist videos. We can make sense out of that. You know? But when it comes to our relationships, our back and forth with the women, men to men, men to women, women to men, right? The grudge, the vitriol is probably much higher than it is for the racist shit that we be seeing. As an example. You know? And so the grudge that we got leads us to a point of, if black men were leading us, it'll be worse for us than ever under white men. Right? It's to a point to where your degree don't mean shit, even if I'm dating you or not. Fuck that degree. Right? Y'all think y'all so big and bad because you got a degree, even if I'm not dating you intimately. And Shah had pointed that out in the stream. So now in the middle of this part here, 2K say, show a time in history where that was the majority and the norm for how black women were treated. Right? And now we're here on this part of the conversation. That's my basic premise that I've been laying out.
Yeah, I've watched midway because by the time I got on, you was reading not super chats.
Okay, yeah, so you ain't missed too
much. Yeah, I didn't miss too much, but I seen the whole show this morning.
This one,
funny enough,
that one,
yes, the entire show this morning. Yeah,
bro, it was a great show, but it left me like one of the brothers. If he hit the link, I'll let him say it for himself. But if he hit the link, he said that the show had him what the word he used? Wounded. Wounded was the word he used, Cheek. That was the word, Cheek. Wounded. Damn, I keep on hitting buttons and shit. Hold on. So
you trying a different platform, dog. I fuck with it, man.
I
Try
like
something
it.
new.
I'm just trying to,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I'm with
So,
you.
what's your thoughts? I do want to watch a little bit more of the thing,
Let's
but
just watch more then. How about
let me
that?
get cheek in. Okay, let me see. All right, good. So let me see if I can get, because I think this one is overall better, cheek. I just got to get used to the layouts and stuff, but it gives you
Operating it.
much more. Yeah, but they give you much more of the, you can custom.
Yeah, I seen the smiley face, the black and yellow. I was like, that's hard.
Yeah,
That was like StreamYard just upgraded. That's dope.
yeah,
It ain't StreamYard though.
Nah, it ain't Stream. Ain't StreamYard. It's actually Ecamm. You heard of it, right?
Yeah, I'm
It's an
familiar
Apple.
with it.
I'll just put this here, right, and we can watch it. Let me add. There we go. All right, man. As long as we have the audio. Mr. Waynes, what up?
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Good.
I can't hear the video.
So Shad, right, is kind of, I'm not gonna say in shock, but he listening to all the stuff being said. He taking in all the points, and if you notice, his disposition hasn't changed, but he
So
looks slightly dejected.
Hamp, the video audio didn't play.
Oh
So
shit!
we
All
didn't hear it.
right. God
We just
damn
saw
me!
it moving.
I'm in here watching shit like a motherfucker. Cheat. Shad, what up?
Hey, where's my? Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna get it down.
I see you shining, my nigga.
Who, me?
Yeah, I see you. You elevating you elevating the platform, man. You got the new software going. I see you.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. And I was late.
Man.
I was late today because we got married today, back in 2020. So me and my wife was out and shit. So,
Say that again, man. I think somebody might hear that again, man. Say that again.
yeah, man. She cool, man. She get on my nerves though. But I tell you what though, cause we had Miss Linda come watch the kids. So we stayed at the hotel. One of the a nice one downtown. That bed was firm, boy. She was in trouble. Ain't no give, boy. So you know how it go.
Baby,
If getaways be fun, man.
Yeah, man. Salute to the firm bed. All right, let me see if y'all can hear this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
we can hear
think
it.
the
All right,
DV.
Pull it up. But also, yeah,
So
I don't think that's in black women's best interest. Y'all ain't seen tyrannical until y'all let black men be in charge of y'all.
So, oh my
I
fucking God.
promise you, that leniency shit gonna go away. You ain't never heard a white man say, "Saw it, I'ma shut you up." You wouldn't even be on this panel. You hear black men say that shit all the time. I promise you, this current state of black men, you do not want them ruling over you.
That has always been
You don't. But I'm
I
telling you,
don't.
you don't have the when you don't have.
So Shad, I don't know if you could just hear me, but I was saying, now look at Shad. Everything he hearing, his disposition is the same because the level of these things that are being said are the same. You see, like the impact of them on a person are the same. So it's not like the points are the exact same, but saying, hey, all black women were being beat, right? Gives you a similar response to if black men are in charge, you in trouble, right? Like you see, it all is like
It's wild. Just wild statements.
so this the part. So I skipped forward just a little bit. I'm gonna let it play, and then we'll give some commentary. All right.
the power to, but when we listen to your ideology and the things that you say, it does not. It doesn't. It's going to go from being at a rock and then going to a hard place. That is what. That's the environment that we as Black women are in. The white man is a rock. You are a hard place. We are going to get slammed either way we go.
All I hear is y'all would rather be with the fucking white man doing what the fuck y'all doing.
We're not in with the white man. We taking care of ourselves. We're trying to negotiate. We're trying to negotiate with the powers up in here because y'all don't have it and y'all will not have it. God gonna have to come back and give it to y'all.
All right, let's pass the mic.
These are the enemies. This is the problem with the Black community, Shad. I hope you get to see it right here in your fucking face. They would rather be with the white man negotiating them with power than coming into power with their own. This is the problem, Shad.
I want to get Shad. I want to get Saw. So I was trying to also get in on that. Shad, since you here, did you have a thought right then, per se? Or now?
Yeah, I was just like, the same thought I always have. I'm watching my people overgeneralize, say salacious things that are not based in any kind of fact. And it's just disheartening, man, because I know we could be better if we just slow down a little bit and be thoughtful in our conversation with each other. I know we wouldn't get to these places, man. So it's just the continued disappointment of why do we keep choosing this when we know better? Anybody over 30 came from community. It wasn't perfect, but they came from community where they saw Black men and women trying to figure shit out. And somehow we've been hit with the men in black thing, and we're on the internet now. Everyone acts like no one remembers that. Nobody remember that. So it's just disappointing to see it, to continually see it.
What's up, G? You want me to play? Or you want to say something?
Do you have the poll function still, like that poll in the chat while we watch this?
Yeah, like on YouTube.
Yeah. I would like to see a poll of, we can say men and women, but mainly men. How many men agree with 2K's ideology from 80 to 90%?
His ideology on...
Yeah, we can see your screen. I don't know if you want to show us that part. I don't know.
Yeah, this don't show too much right here.
Okay.
Should be good. And it'll be quick. What was it? Say it again.
How many of you all agree with 80 to 90% of 2K's ideology?
So, and what should I put the thing as? I do, I don't, I guess.
Yeah, I do or I don't. And make it male specific. Like I just want to hear the men only, not really the women when it comes to this. I'm just curious to see what the response would be.
Okay. All right. You want me to run this, or you want to say something while I run this?
Yeah, no. Let's give them some time. Let's just watch, and then the next time we stop, we can just take a look at the poll and see what's going on.
All right. Back and forth as well. So, you trying to say something?
You can let Shad go.
I don't know if Shad wanted to go. I just know you was.
I don't really have no ear to this particular point.
I know you don't.
Yeah, I don't think the DV shit was valid. But I digress with that.
Which part? Sorry.
As far as making the abuse seem as though it's not happening.
Well, what it was, do you think that it was happening in mass?
Back then or now? Because now I can only say yes. Because I don't know.
So hold on, Sherelle. You're saying that most of the men who are with women are beating their wives or beating their girlfriends?
I'm not saying most men.
That's what I asked in mass. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, no. So not in mass, but 2K was making it seem like it was just finding the pot of gold after the rainbow. Like it was just a rare case, and it's not.
So I can't add this. I mean, of course, this is self-reported. It's difficult to get hard numbers on things like abuse, but I think the range is around 25-30% of Black women have reported some type of like intimate partner violence. So I mean, that's not the majority. But it's also not 5%. But again, this survey data, so it's around like 25-30%.
And then you have to add to the non-reported ones.
What's the numbers on women and women?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I guarantee you, it is 3 times higher than what you just said.
I think women and women violence is I think
It's a
I think it's higher.
microcosm. When you talk about the
Yeah.
volume, the majority of black women have been abused by the hands of black men. Mr. What do you say? Domestic discipline. That's what we
real,
want. Domestic
real
discipline.
quick, you would
That's gonna be
have,
your first order.
yeah, the thing about violence against people is the people that you're coupled with, right? So that statement would be said in the inverse as well, right? Because those are the people that are coupled together. So it's not an astounding thing when you say violence to women happen, black women to black men, and black men to black women. It would be, and that's for all races because we're in close proximity to each other. Like as an example, women have the most violence against the elderly and children. Why? The jobs they do, proximity. So it makes sense when you just do the mathematical. Now when we're saying this, right? Saying it doesn't happen or it happened, we understand that. So where do we go from here, right? So Sherelle's saying if black men are in power, black women are worst off. That sounds like a diabolical thesis.
I agree.
She believe what they say.
Wow.
So when the other women hear it before I get Arnold in, that's when I hear it, it feels, and I'm saying feels, diabolical. Because it's more of it invokes like an emotion, even though my face don't be changing that much.
On the inside.
Yeah. When you guys hear it, I'm just asking, what's the emotion or feeling that it invokes? And if y'all want me to pause or stop, let me know.
Yeah, let me clarify because I think people are asking questions
Okay.
about what I mean. When you think of 2K,
Tango, what up?
and you think about
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good.
Oh, it's good.
Glad you-
When you
What's up,
think of
brother?
2K and what he stands for, do you agree with that mostly? That's what I'm asking. It's that simple. That's it.
Yeah. When you think about 2K, think about his talking points. Do you agree with upwards of 80 and 90% of what he says? If so, put I do. That's all. That's all. Okay. So Tango, what's good? I don't know if you saw this stream, but have you been listening
Yeah,
today?
so
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay. So yeah, we're
if
just
I
going.
want to
Go ahead, Sean.
I just want to make this point before I get cut off, man. I'm about to go mingle with the city, man. And you mentioned this earlier, right? That even on these panels, you've heard people say things like, "What does history do for us? Why do we need to know history?" Then at the same time, we'll say, "Black people don't control their narrative. We don't have control of the media." So it just shows kind of the idiotic nature of our brain sometimes when the way we go about solving our own problems. Because if we don't have control of the media and the narrative, where will we get the information about who we were, who we are? So I always say, Hamp, as you mentioned, the reason why my disposition stayed the same, because I actually do study history. And what I found is my people, since they've been in this country, they've been fighting against the system, whether that's following the rules that are placed that everyone's supposed to have access to, or fighting with violence, whatever. We've been fighting since we've been here. Now, our generation in particular, when it's our turn to be assessed by history, they might look at us and say, seeing the warrior spirit that your ancestors had, and when y'all got integrated into society, what did y'all do with it? So I think a lot of times we kind of use our privilege to shit on people who actually had the force of the law against them, and we try to intellectualize their decisions while not doing shit ourselves, but wearing nice t-shirts and marching and doing hashtags and then talking shit about people who actually had no protection under the law. And that's something we're gonna have to deal with sooner or later, because I don't know if we are maximizing the opportunity that our ancestors gave us. The blueprint is there. I say that all the time, Helm. The blueprint is there. Now, what we should do as smart people is see what the blueprint is and make assessments. That didn't really work. That thing you said about the forced doctrine, man, I can't wait to study that, Helm, because I think that forced doctrine thing is very important when it comes to why a lot of our movements have failed in America, because we don't have an army to protect us when we all on one accord. And you kind of see that right after emancipation, when black people started getting banks, the Freedmen's Bureau, the Freedmen's Bank. When you see what happened to those black people, how their money got squandered because they didn't have anybody to protect them, you understand the game is still being played. But right now we're fighting each other instead of being strategic. And that's something we're going to have to deal with.
Man, that's a good point, man. That's why that grudge word was popping in my head. You know, nigga, you want to. It's like we rather push, perpetuate, and keep the grudge alive. You know, than really being
Yep.
accountable, responsible for how we communicate, what we communicate. Because I don't think a lot of times we know what we be saying because we don't know the
Yeah.
history. We don't know the
Yep.
historical connotation or denotation,
Yep.
right? Probably is more accurate.
Yep.
You know, like I
Yep.
was saying earlier, right? And I think you was listening, and I think maybe you said this before, but I ain't my ancestors, and then I want to make my ancestors proud.
Right. The
Like,
disrespect, bro. The disrespect.
like what you mean? You ain't me,
The
you know?
disrespect, man.
So
Niggas couldn't even imagine it. We couldn't even imagine being around in the '60s. To take it back a little, we couldn't even imagine, nigga. We panic when the Wi-Fi go out. You niggas crazy talking about I ain't my ancestors. What you gonna do? We ain't willing to lose our jobs for shit. Fuck is y'all talking about? The disrespect is crazy. Niggas were getting castrated in the public square with kids taking pictures, and that shit was normal. What are you niggas talking about? Ain't my you right? We not our ancestors. We some fucking. That's yeah. I'm good, man. That make me angry when I see shit like that. That makes me angry, bro.
this shit real, man. Cheek, do you want me to close the poll? Pause. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you can shut it down.
Okay. Did you want to go? You Miss Williams, Tenga? What I think, man.
Nah, I mean, I agree. I agree with what Shad was saying and what y'all laid out. I mean, if, even now, like, look at it, just like what was going on back then. We watching ourselves beat each other and everything and recording it online. It's just we have to do better. You know, just period all the way around. Like they pulling up now, like it used to be when I was young in high school. Hey, where you at now? It's where's your low? Like we are going. History is actually really repeating itself. It's just we have better technology.
Yeah, I understand that. So Cheek, right now the poll has 80 votes. 65% do agree.
Yeah. Okay. Um, if we just use a small sample size, I could see why a woman wouldn't want black men because we're going to assume the demographic of this audience is black and also male since you put male on the voter thing
Yeah.
because the things that 2K believes is very regressive and restrictive of women and the rights that they currently have. And most of your chat is aligned with what he says for the most part, right? Of course, I gave it that range, right? Anywhere from 10 to 20%. But
Yeah, so it's right
think
now it's
about think
300
about what he says.
it's
Yeah.
330 people and 83 people voted so far.
And even if let's say that. Let's say even though, everyone didn't vote, the fact that it's 60-40 and not 50-50 says a lot as well. It's not even 60-40, it's 65-38 or whatever the case,
Yeah,
right?
60-40.
So what that says is the majority of men, because you put in a poll man,
Yeah.
right? We're going to trust it to be honest, believe and agree with 2K's viewpoint on what women should be in a society where women have freedoms. Why the hell would I want that for my daughter? When I know when he said about education, when I know what he said about what women should and shouldn't do, I don't agree with those things, and neither do most women because they enjoy the rights that they have and they like the fact that they're educated and can access more when it comes to banking, when it comes to home ownership. 2K don't believe in that shit. And most of the men in this chat don't either. They think niggas just really should. They think men should be in a position of power and women should be in a regressive state because they think that's correct. Why the hell would any black woman who sees or understands who 2K is and his talking points and know that a majority of the men in this group, why would they even want to roll the dice and go on a 60-30 chance, roll the dice and go, yeah, I want this nigga to lead? Are you fucking kidding me? No. That's
But you
why
know
that's
what,
why I
Chief?
can't be offended. I can't be offended by what Sherelle said because look at what we have. Just this small percentage.
Do you think that equates to tyranny?
What part of it?
Yeah, so like basically if you're saying 2K's talking points, does that steel man her argument, meaning
about
black
about
men and as a whole, if we were in leadership, would be tyrannical.
oppressive.
Because you
I
give
don't
them
know. Let me look up the word. Let me look up the word tyrannical to make sure we're
Okay.
using it correctly. But I
Okay.
think the
you
word
can't.
oppressive would be better fit for sure, right? Because it kind of
You,
go back to this entire week's conversation about oppression and fighting for rights and being treated unfairly or unjust, although you have the qualifications, things like that, right? So while 2K and the people within this chat may not represent all black men, they still
Yes.
represent a subset of black men. And the percentages is too high to even want to gamble on that, right? Would you take a 60-30 gamble on whether or not you could have rights as a black man with somebody you
40.
don't know?
No.
It's not good. It's not even 50-50. And it's with people that understand your disposition, your ideology, and know you a little better, and they still would want to take those rights away. Why would I? I'm not gambling on that. It's just a bad deal. So, you can extrapolate and go, it's too small, it's too small, it's only 89 people. But come on now. The more you think about what I asked, just when you hear 2K speak on women, do you agree? And you shake your head, yes. And it's 60%. Hell no, bro. I would never want my daughter to be led by none of these niggas at all. Are you kidding me? Fuck no. Wouldn't even want y'all to date them or look at them.
Okay. What y'all think? Tanga, Mr. Williams. What y'all think, man?
I don't agree with 2K sentiment, but I feel like Cheeky's giving Sharella out. Even when we did the show Tuesday, that was a perfect example. And when I said they don't get along, all of this, I got shitted on. But what happened to women's POV? She did the same exact thing and shitted on the women that didn't agree with the ideology. It's the same thing. We want to pigeonhole us now, but like we said, with the becoming behavior and everything, this is what the rights they're fighting for, because that's all they're fighting for. To keep doing the same shit they doing, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen with the youth? I said this. What's gonna happen? They're gonna keep on repeating what the hell they doing now. The crazy thing to me is you would run to the white man because you're gonna cuss us out off rip. You're not gonna cuss out the white man, but you'll cuss us out. You'll talk about me and my mama and everything under the sun. But you're gonna give the white man more respect when you actually do have men that actually give you grace and actually will listen to you. Because we listen more than we do get on them and attack. We do. We hear them out.
Mr. Williams, let me sum up his point. Mr. Williams is saying you have this how you say, what's the word? Like angelical outlook on white men that you're not in proximity to, right? But you see a few cases of black women being with white men and they appear to be happy. And it seems like white men are willing to acquiesce or compromise more or be more benevolent. But this is something that you viewing, right? But you don't actually have actual proximity or tangible experience with. But then when you get with them, you treat them better and then prop them up, right? While the men that you are mostly associated with, you treat poorly and then blame them for the responses you get. Is that fair, Mr. Williams? I just wanted to kind
Yeah,
of make sure people
that was
clearly understand what you're articulating.
yeah, that was straight on. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's faulty thinking
Okay.
because um, the reason why I think that's faulty or false is because their point has never been about race. It's been about rights, right? And irregardless of race. What seems to happen or seems to be the case is no matter white or black, men think women should be in a place that puts them or leads them in a regressive state instead of their current state. And that they're constantly fighting for a right or constantly maintaining, not fighting, maintaining a right because there are men that have regressive ideologies about what they should and shouldn't do. I know for a fact, if you ask this same chat, do you think women should be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen and you should be the main one making the money? They would answer yes, right? Because they think that's the best place for women. But it's in regards to what they think is right and now women think is right. And so that causes the conflict. And it doesn't matter whether it's black or white. It's more so about this quote unquote traditional mindset. 2K and black men that agree 2K are very quick to say, if we were back in the 60s, you wouldn't even be on this panel. Shut the fuck up. Or how about this? One of our most accomplished black women that we can really talk to in real life, Dr. G, was being told her degree means shit.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that.
I mean, it means fuck shit. Like, not even regular shit. It means fucking nothing. It's worthless. Now, under what circumstance do we think that a woman who understands and enjoys her rights to do these things would agree with somebody, whether they're black or white, being in a position to take away or regress their rights when both sides seem to be agreeing, both black and white? That's why it's a hard place in Iraq. Because on one side, they saying, you niggas don't need rights, and they white. On the other side, they saying, you niggas don't need rights, and they black. So it sounds like neither one of these people want to give them rights. And guess what? The first thing black man, or the first thing that happened is the black man gets offended because they want to be the white man. She didn't say that. She said, we just might as well just stay here. What's the difference? Niggas don't want rights. White people want to give us rights. Niggas don't want to give us rights.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was. Let me clarify this real quick, Mr. Williams. So so maybe what there needs is a clarification, and maybe you are correct, Cheeky. However, the statement was, you think it's bad now, let black men get in power. And then later, it was a rock and a hard place. You see? So
okay, so you're saying that right there. Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
If you're saying if the rock and a hard place is the actual sentiment, I'm not going to, you know what I mean, say it wasn't. I'm saying the initial part was, if black men were in power, right, you'll see what it's really like to be what's the word I'm looking for? Like
oppressed,
ruled
or
over,
violated,
oppressed.
Yeah, right. I got you.
But that
okay,
clarification,
I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah, but the end clarification, I can accept it. I just want to make sure that that's what was actually meant, because the opening statement was different. Is all.
All right. Well, do you think that? Now, let me ask you this, because I agree with that sentiment as well, because that would change things. Do you think that 2K's behavior from the very beginning of the show up until that point may have warranted that response? Right? Had it been a balanced panel, right, or a panel where somebody wasn't literally shitting on the accomplishment of the most accomplished black, right? It's literally started off with bullshit, you know, for lack of better words. So you're already setting the tone or poisoning the well for a perspective that's dealing with women. I can understand that also being the case. I get what you're saying. That makes sense, but we got to figure that out. I think we should investigate
and that's all I'm saying, right? You just
I
figure it
think so.
out. You see, right? Because if we go, and let me just make sure, right? You know, and so that way we can know that you and I are seeing, like, you know what I mean, understanding it the same way, right?
Yeah, just taking a look at it and understanding it for sure.
Wouldn't be true when you
okay. The two options.
I'm dealing.
Think about this, right? Is this a us problem?
Government assistance, the way that there's men.
You called it a matriarchy. How's that?
Women control the narrative. Black women control that in the black community.
Right. He's saying.
But you are, hold up, Dr. G, but you identified the problem.
No, you did.
You said that's the problem.
2K said to go tell.
Dr. G, I gave us two options. Me and
It has those benefits. On my mama, this is my area of expertise.
Yeah, I don't think that's in black women's best interest. Y'all ain't seen tyrannical until y'all let black men be in charge of y'all.
So
were you listening, Sheik?
Yeah, I heard that. You said that she just said y'all haven't seen tyrannical until you let black men be in charge of y'all. Is that before or after 2K's behavior, you think?
Oh, this is after.
Where is
right? This is after when him and Dr. G and everything. I'm just saying the initial.
Yeah, but that statement right there, that statement does need to be investigated to see, because it's very extreme, right?
Yeah.
And the middle part of it, of being a rock and a hard place, is less extreme and still arguable. So I understand why we got to investigate that.
Exactly, yeah, because rock and a hard place is much different than
saying you haven't seen this shit until these niggas. So that is extreme, right? And I think we should criticize and scrutinize that, because I don't think that's true, right? But just to make it fair, just to make it fair to the conversation and the overall viewpoint, I agree with you. What you saying?
So that's all.
We just investigate it. Yeah,
because Shad, you want to go? Tanga, Mr. Williams.
Yeah. I'd like to.
We can't hear you, Shot.
In my opinion,
You can't hear. He got them. Yo, I'm telling y'all, man, don't buy them headphones from people outside of Walmart. The packaging look good, but they ain't actually Apple.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, Tango, I can hear you. We couldn't hear Shot.
Yeah. So, he's speaking.
He's speaking, but we can't hear him. Let me see if I can do something.
Y'all need to go to Target, man.
I'm pressing buttons. I don't even know what I'm doing. Whoops. Hold on.
What about now?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I just wanted to say, was Tango going? Because I know he's gonna give us some wisdom. I don't want to get in his way. Is he about to go?
Are you good, brother? I succeed to my elders. You good,
All
brother?
right. What I wanted to say is, man, I think what often happens in these conversations when we talk about the black community, right? Because we are a cohort of failures in romantic relationships. So it seems like our only lens is through our failures in relationships, right? Because again, as history says, men and women have always worked in tandem to get shit done. You know, a lot of people argue where we started in, whether we're indigenous to this country or could we come from Africa. But even you look at African people in the way they look at, there should be order, but we both bring equal value. Men and women bring equal value to each other. There should be an order, right? Because when you talk about the way civilization was made, the men got to be in the front. If the war starts, you don't want your women in front. That's an easy battle. But there's an order, but we've always brought equal value. So oftentimes I find us, particularly the men, in this particular scenario, where when you say things like the and I said on the show, when you say things like the degree don't mean shit, what do you like? Women being educated, how does that not, one, help the children, but also as a man that has a plan for himself, wouldn't you want a capable woman beside you in some type of way? Or if not romantically, right? Even if you're trying to start some type of business, trying to build something, you want capable women around. But I just think again, we get immature, we kind of stuck in this place of contention where we start to have conversations in a way that's not intellectual. So that's what I was trying to get across the 2K, bro. Like, maybe in a relationship, every man not looking for a smarty arty chick. That's okay. Me personally, and shout out to my brother Sean, I say all the time, I don't want no broke chick. I want a chick when I come so we can have conversations. We can talk about different things. I actually desire it in the woman I'm gonna be with. So I just think we just gotta stop having conversations about community and learn how to separate community and what I want my woman to be like. And I think we
Okay.
struggle with that, Hamp. Yeah.
Okay. There's a couple points that I know somebody would retort with, so I'll offer them to you after Tango goes, so that we can get a proper response. Tango, what's goody, my boy?
What's the word, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. Good to see you. What's poppin'?
Likewise. Yeah. In my opinion, both sentiments display colonial pathology. You know, with 2K's sentiments, it just displays that's a European thought process. Relegating women to just being handmaids and helpmaids, that's not our culture. That's not what we did pre-colonial times. Our women controlled the markets in our cultures. We revered our women. We venerated the divine feminine. It was balanced. It wasn't about me ruling over you with an iron fist. Like Franz Fanon said in Black Skin, White Mask, a lot of our people are just misorientated, and we want to have tyrannical rule over our people in the same way as the European did, just based upon proximity. But the sister sentiments are also incorrect and ahistorical because, like I said, when you look at the basis and fundamental aspects of our cultures before we had contact with these people, and you can go read the primary documents when they was interacting with our people, they were amazed and perplexed about how we venerated our women and had our women up front. Our women could walk around with chestless, beltless, and there was no cases of no SA going on because people respected the divine feminine, and they were perplexed by these behaviors. So again, when we had these conversations, a lot of people are not historically qualified to have these type of premises, and their opinions are just you can tell that they're formulated based off faulty information. And I think that does a disservice when people around in the panels are not qualified to give proper pushback, because then that makes it seem like their prevailing sentiment is actually accurate. And oftentimes there's no really pushback given from a historical lens. What the sister said was just outright categorically inaccurate.
Yeah. And so Tanga, Shad was saying it, right? He was saying, so 2K said, pardon me, because we have so many conversations, so I don't want to jumble. But he said that previously, right? Like historically, we've always worked together. You know, I said something very simple, Tanga, like it makes no sense to have a woman that's incapacitated when you literally need her to do a job, right? Because that's what happens when you hurt people. They can't do the job you want them to do, you know? Um, and so 2K said prove that historically, right? But he was unable to offer the historical value you just did, you know? So like the pushback was substantiate your argument as opposed to just a straight up counter like you did. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So I'm essentially just steel man in the point that you make. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of
Yeah.
as I'm belaboring
But
it.
but what she's saying, I understand where her mindset is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you hear brothers like that, it really is disenchanting because it shows that you don't value women. Like, what purpose is another human being if all you want them to do is procreate and follow what you're saying, as far as and not give any pushback, as if they can't formulate coherent thoughts that have value and can add value. And that's what I'm like when you look at what our women have done historically. There's no way that you can have an opinion like that. When you look at the Sojourner Truths, when you look at the Harriet Tubmans, when you look at the Ida B. Wells Barnetts, like me personally, I can't relate to having that type of mindset towards women, and it just shows how European our minds are. Like, why would you want to relegate a female to a woman to something like that? It makes no sense to me. I can't relate to it.
So Tanga, this is actually okay. So this is actually good because you said it. Shah was saying it as well, right? I don't like the negative connotation that is associated with being barefoot and pregnant. I know what people say. I know how it was used, you know, but there's nothing that's valueless about a pregnant woman carrying your child. You know, but how it's angled is like she has no other. Now, but being a mom, birthing your children and raising them is a huge responsibility. And if I'm able to provide that opportunity for my wife to do so without having to go work for somebody else, that would be exalted, right? Because the mother is the first teacher of them children. But it's like you see how like how we to your point though, how we talk about shit. We be shitting on each other, shitting on things that should be have more value and exalted. It just the grudge, you know.
And Help, I understand why you made that point, right? Because we do see in modern times that there's this um, criticism of the feminine, right? The woman that doesn't want to be the superwoman that does everything right, that wants to be the one that makes the home, the homemaker. There's often like criticism for that woman is real. I think our condition in America, and shout out to Ting is real, man, just providing that context. It's complicated, and it's always been complicated and difficult. We've always had to manage different hats to maintain here, bro. You've always had to.
Yeah.
And so it just, why don't we understand that as the current people who have the mantle to push us forward into the future? Why don't we understand it's always been complicated? The woman has always had to teach the kids and also sometimes pick up the gun. That's the reality.
That's
And the
the
same for the
reality.
men. Sometimes we've had to have wear multiple hats in our families as well. So I don't know, man. It's the grudge. Keep going back to that, man. It's fucking
crazy,
it's fucking with our mental, man. It's fucking with our mental.
You know what, Hamp? That's the main thing that really bothers me because we have all the tools. We've been seeing this shit for years, and yet and still we make it. I feel like we just make it hard on ourselves. Period.
How's
Point
that?
blank. I think the decisions that we make, how we treat each other, and everything, we actually are doing it to ourselves. I can't say that the white man's doing shit to us right now. I think it's us. I think we have to get a grip and actually really start. For one, stop believing the bullshit. The shit that you know damn well is just not factual. But we need to really have the conversations and really, really, like you say, man it out and slow down. Because that's how we get into the arguments and we get frustrated and irritated. I think if we have more grace for each other and really listen and then being able to accept the accountability, I could be wrong. Because you can be right, but is it correct? Is it the correct way to handle it? Because everybody wants to be right nowadays.
I'm gonna say this to what Mr. Will just said, right? I know I love Mr. Will, so I know he didn't say it to be malicious or anything, right? But the final boss is still the final boss, right? I just want black people to understand that once we get our shit together, and I'm talking about not just American blacks, but melanated people around the world, the final boss is still the final boss, right? There's been inward fighting continually in civilization, right? And I thought about this earlier because I wanted to bring up the Hemp, right? Because I was listening to J. Cole album. And Hemp, we fight about the whole, you'll kill a nigga, but you won't kill a cop, right? And really trying to mine out, because J. Cole had a line about that, right? Like, I get it, right? You don't point your guns at 12, but why you think another black man deserves death? But when you read history, right, I get it. He disrespect you on your block, whatever it is, he gotta go. But when you think about the history though, like when you read what they done, our people, how we should be someone trying to steal some tanks when you really think about what has actually been done to our people. So I'm just saying, like Mr. Will, I think there will always be fighting inward, right? Each generation of black people, right now, y'all doing some wild shit now with our leaders. Now everyone's trying to do this whole conspiracy theory about Jesse Jackson being the reason for MLK getting assassinated. And I just be like, man, this shit, it's just like with no substantiated facts, just a couple of rumors. They'll find one person to allude to something. Now it's the truth. It's just disgusting to see my people do that to ourselves, bro. Not saying Jesse Jackson shouldn't be criticized. He did things that people could criticize. But to put him in the face and say he pushed the button to get MLK assassinated is like wild shit. We do the same thing with MLK too. So I'm just saying, Mr. Will, it's not them, this part of it, right? But the influence is the influence, as Tanker just said, about how we thought before we got this influence. And we have to accept our minds. We just read a book about psychological slavery. We still struggling through it, Mr. Will. I know we make it look good because our skin's shining, everybody driving BMWs, bro, but we still dealing with that psychological slavery, bro. We still battling it.
That, I think about this, right? And I like to use simple analogies. Do I got an echo? Check. I do?
Yeah, it's slight. Yeah, but it was there a little bit.
Mic check. It's going now?
Oh, yeah, sounds gone.
Okay. Might be shot. Marshall's headphone. Okay, so
I'm on mute. There's the ear pod, bro. I'm on mute.
Oh, praise. I like to use simple examples, right? Mr. Williams, I like to use a lot of examples, but Chugga Wugga, he go to school every day, right? Guess what he does every day at school? Punch people, man. But then when he come home, guess what he do with me? Punch me. Then we go outside and punch the heavy bag. Then we go outside and shadow box. Then I bring him to the gym with me and it's a bunch of men punching people. And so I'm just saying that when the school call and say Hampton punched somebody, I'm like, makes sense. So, who do you blame? You blame Chugga Wugga or you blame his daddy? That's all I'm saying. Right, Shad? Just to summarize it, like, yo, if we agree that systematic things were there, then systematically those things work. And I think there's a lot of systemic social things that we don't even think about and perpetuate. Now, there's always a time where you got to be accountable for yourself, so we're not skirting that. But we got to consider all things. We can't have an equation and not solve for all the variables and then not understand what the overwhelming common denominator is.
Yeah.
I agree. And my thing is, most black people haven't done the due diligence to even make a correct analysis on what accountability entails. You don't know what's exterior and what's interior. So until you do the proper analysis that's circumspect, you're not qualified to have these conversations.
Yeah.
A lot of these people keep regurgitating the same nonsense that's not based on any type of reality. So that's my thing. Before you espouse these drastic opinions, do drastic due diligence, and then you would be qualified to talk like that.
That's a great. I like that equation. I like that equation big time.
That's what you've been talking about.
What he's saying sounds so good, and I really want us to do that. But these niggas hate facts over here, bro. They don't give a fuck about none of the shit you just said. I'm so sorry to tell you.
Somebody
Unfortunately,
will tell
we
you
have a
you wrong in
pulpit
your
above
field.
us. Unfortunately, I got a
Somebody will
pulpit
tell you
above
you
me.
wrong in your
When I'm
job,
presenting
in your
some facts,
field.
that nigga said, I don't care. I said, what?
There was
Look,
one
Somebody
show.
will literally tell you that you wrong in your career field. No, that ain't.
We had one show. They said, "What are we reading books for?" I said, "Good God Almighty!"
like they don't care about facts. So I understand what you're saying, and I think that is the correct approach. But that's not the kind of people we're dealing with. And
Right.
there's where this is where taking things for what it is, it probably better helps your psychology, so you don't go insane instead of trying to give truth to people who don't care about it. They don't care. Like nothing engages, from politics to dating to anything. They just don't care. They believe what they believe, and facts don't really phase them. They don't change their minds due to it. It's not like, oh, let me take in this information and change it. But I agree with you. I just don't want to get my hopes up and thinking that.
Well, Chicky, let me say this to what you said, and then I think Tanga might agree with this, right? When you think about like revolution, it's always only just a few people. You know what I mean? It won't be 1,000 men. It'll be 1,000 men that's the bodies, but the mind of the revolution is always a few people. And I think I see, just from my estimation, I see the right people getting in leadership. What you have in a thing like YouTube is everyone has an opinion. And it almost seems like everyone's opinion is actually qualified and valued. But the truth is, when we really think about like the revolution, most of these people will just reap the benefits. They won't actually be at the table making decisions. So I actually think what Tanga said, I think we're still in that place. It just sometimes appears that we're not, because Hamp allows everyone to hit the panel. They can say anything they want to say, but they might not actually be a thought leader. They just getting their emotions off. And we, our confirmation bias allows us to cheer it on or boo it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the people that people's gonna get us to the next plateau, I think those people step in line. I also think that's something like God ordained. Everyone won't step up to the mantle to be a revolutionary, bro. So I think it's still moving the way it always has, bro. But everybody got an opinion now versus back in the day, you get told, shut the hell up. Who are you? Why you get to talk?
Well,
We not in
do
the
you
air
do
no
you
more.
Quick
think?
cheek before you reply.
Yeah.
Just remember your response if you don't mind.
I'm gonna get the baby, y'all.
All right, no doubt. Miss Williams, be safe. Aaron with the $5 says, Relly talks good about black men, then the next day we the ops. Aaron with the $5 says, men, no matter your race, the truth is, even if you make your race the best of the best, the women of your race will try to dethrone you. And saying with the $10 says, now that men are taking conversation out of the barbershop, it's a problem. Meanwhile, women have been taking their talk for decades on TV media. It's just that internet's bigger than TV ever was. Macaroni with the post work. Do me a favor, just mute real quick. And then when it's your time to shine, just unmute. You just got a little bit of car noise. Macaroni, that's macaroni, right? Macaroni with the $5 says, change my name, Hamp. Was Clean D, just showing love. Salute, Clean. Okay. Salute. Clean, but the other $5 says, I think people are confused when you ask the question. I think they were thinking about his last statement, not his history on panels. We clarified, and maybe we can do it again. Kim with the $10 says, why does the majority have to receive condemnation or ridicule for the conduct and decisions of others? No one wants to be painted with the same brush as someone they don't agree with or relate to. Thomas, what's good, kid? With the $5 says, in regards to Hamp's previous podcast, Sherelle and 2K shouldn't be the representatives of their talking points or the talking point. Okay. Vet Life for the $10 says, knock it off, man. Ellipsis. You have to keep focusing on 2K because the majority of the men who frequent the panels don't agree with him. And the 80 people who voted, you're assuming it was all men that voted. Mr. Fantastic, what up? As A for the $2 says, Tanga, that was awesome. D in the chat, what's poppin', D? Said, we are too hard on ourselves. We have issues, but a lot of stuff is greatly exaggerated when it comes to black men and black women. As A with the $5 says, I don't think 2K lives hard as he speaks. He has a wife and child. Obviously, he knows how to love a woman and stay married. Maybe take a lesson from him. That's a woman talking. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Go ahead, Cheek.
Yeah, man. It's funny when it comes to like just this area. Gender don't matter. Facts don't matter. It's just if you agree. Like if a woman says, "Yeah, he's married," that don't mean shit. That means you agree with him. Like there's plenty of women that disagree with you. The thing that we have to do is be critical and listen to the ideology. And do we think that most women, right, in the United States, most black women, if they heard 2K's ideology and most people in this chat agree with it, would they want that for themselves? The answer is no. It's been shown and proven. By the way, that most black women vote and already their stance on things already. So it's like for me, I'm not doing anything besides pointing to the thing that seems to be obvious already. And the hate that I'm getting, I'm only getting because I'm pointing out or reiterating the fact that was already proven. Why would I want something like that when I don't believe that? Why would women want something like that when they clearly don't believe that? The only thing that I'm doing is pointing out or making sure we understand it's already been answered. And it's regressive. And nobody wants that. I don't think most men would want that. So yeah, I don't know. You know, people don't like reiterating things, but yeah, it's okay. If you agree, you good. If you don't disagree, now you're the opposite. That's the other thing too. I noticed, Hamp. Whenever you disagree, you're the opposite of what you are. Oh, he a black woman because you don't agree with me. I didn't call you a name. I just said I don't think that's right. And then when you're a woman and you agree with a man, oh, now you're a black man. You act too masculine. Just all they do is reverse the thing that you are and try to shame you out of the position because they don't really have any contextual or intellectual conversation to discombat it. Like they just suck. Sorry.
1000%. See, you know, it was interesting. It was a show, right? So I can reiterate this one. Mr. Williams, right? Mr. Fantastic. Remember you prosecuted Mr. Williams for being a simp?
Yeah.
And when Prosecute-tastic was on the scene, he was indeed found to be a simp, right? He disagreed with the ladies for one day and got fucking destroyed to the point where a few of them don't even talk to him anymore. Now, mind you, Tanga, I had a gavel and everything, Tanga. We had a real trial to see if Mr. Williams was a simp, and he was indeed found guilty. But I'm just saying this because it's a Cheeky's point. When they didn't like what he was saying, kiss my ass, Mr. Williams. So I just use that example because people saw those shows, so it's tangible to what Cheeky kind of laying out. Mr. Fantastic, what's good, man? You want to get in?
Pause. Yo, what up, man?
Shit.
Sorry,
Pause.
everybody.
My fault. I didn't even get posting. My bad.
I'm just now coming. I'm just not coming in, man. So I'm listening. I went back a little bit. I guess you guys covered the conversation. 2K. What was it? Wednesday. Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. But what aspect are you guys attacking right now or addressing? I guess.
Well, Cheeky was just kind of saying to be correct, accurate, historically accurate is less important. People are gonna side with the things that they agree with before they got here. You know?
Yeah,
he's just saying, to be intellectually honest is less important. You know? You could be sensational as long as you can galvanize people, you're good to go.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah.
He froze? Did I freeze?
Like a motherfucker. I'm froze. This shit look crazy as hell. Hold on. We gotta fix this. Shit.
Hey, Hamp, I'm a slide, man. I appreciate you, bro. You doing the Lord's work, man.
No doubt, man. Love you. Be safe. I'll see you later.
For sure.
Yeah. But yeah, bro. You know, again, if it bleeds, it leads. You said that a couple of times, right? And you know, a lie make it around the world. You know, a million times before the truth gets around the corner, right? And I think that's one of the biggest issues and problems we have within each other. Pause. Whoa, crazy. Within the community, to where if you disagree with it, right? And we've had this even with the stats and the things, right? Oh, that's you're making it up. Well, listen, baby, you got Google just like I got Google. Just look it up. You feel me? And the truth, if the truth doesn't go with the narrative, i.e., I was in the chat for a split second on the women's POV, and black women still talking about black women are most educated. That's not true. Any way, shape, form, or fashion. But yet, still, because it makes black women look good, that lie will forever exist. Okay, it's not true. Any metric. You're not volume, white women, percentage, or per capita, Asian women, right? But because it makes black women look good, hey, it's allowed to be said. And if you challenge it, now you a coon, you hate black women, you hate your mama, and all this other shit, right? Just like anything positive for black men, right? As soon as we say, oh well, black men are the most involved fathers, well, that's not what it really means. So damn, people still talking about it's more niggas in prison, right? There's too many niggas in prison, which we know that's not true, right? But it's crazy how you juxtapose the positive and negative. If anything critical is said of a black woman and it's actually factual, right? It's truthful. Oh, you bashing and you hating this, it's like, well, no. Am I giving it? So when did the truth become bashing? When did the truth become, negative or any of these things? But when you have the inverse for the black man and it's positive or proof of improvement, well, you still need to do better. So I just think that's this thing of where, you know, that conversation has to be had of when is it enough? You feel me? When can the black man say, "Hey, man, we're getting better," and it not be, "Oh, shut up, nigga." You only make 3,000. It was just now mind you, Hamp, just a year ago, 2024, it was 2,000, right? $1,000 increase is what, Hamp, from 3,000 from 2,000 3,000 is a what increase, Hamp?
That's what 50%, 100%,
50%, a 50%,
50%,
a
right?
50% increase, a fucking 50% increase, right?
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? So this is the thing that I'm saying, man. When we really get into the numbers, we really start doing these things. You feel me? That's what people don't want to have a conversation, right? But again, if it makes the black man look good in any light whatsoever, it's a problem when it's true.
So I'm thinking about this, Mr. Fantastic. Actually, glad I named this show The Grudge, and I was just kind of assessing a couple things. Like we have a less of a grudge with people who had more of a chronic impact on us. You know, just from the history that we come from. But the grudge with the women seemed like it started kind of like in the 80s. And then when they got on Sally Jeffrey Raphael, now it's lit because we got the internet. And it seemed like we holding on to that grudge more than we do with the people that you could easily argue had much more of an impact on where we are today based on our circumstances. So I'm just looking at the grudge like, damn, it's like it's easier to maintain it amongst each other or between the men and the women. One thing that doesn't really resonate with me as much is their degrees don't mean shit. Now, I think what we mean is when you get a degree, you still need to maintain a level of, a disposition of maybe being humble and such. Stop leveraging it over like you better than someone, Or when you get with a man that doesn't have a degree, you call it dating down or looking down upon him. What we want to assess the diminishing returns or the cost benefit of having a degree, right? Like that's the conversation rather than your degree don't mean shit. But if I'm just telling somebody a thing that they accomplished don't mean shit because I don't see value in it, that's like some hating shit almost.
No, I agree, but is that the reason for the reply? And like you said, the reason for the reply isn't because that is because it's being used as a negative against a group of people.
Yeah.
And the only group of women that does that is black women. The only. I don't ever see any other group of women talking about, oh, we're more educated than you. And again, and clearly because we're the most educated, which is a lie. And that is one of the main whipping sticks or whatever that black women use against the black man as to, like you said, to degrade his value and to somehow usurp position. When again, all groups of women go to school more than all groups of men. And the reason why, it comes to just across the board, that shit don't mean shit it's the simple way to say you're not doing nothing different than what the other women are doing, and you're still getting the same result to where you're not out earning the men. Mind you, you may be closer, right? Cool, fine, right? But at the end of the day, more is more. You say it all the time, huh? Motherfucker owe you 100, you're not accepting 70,
Yeah.
right? So that's what we're looking at, and it's this constant back and forth battle that's internal. This is why I feel you too with the the white man and the system of white supremacy and so on and so forth. That grudge, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's pointless, but that's a grudge that's gonna forever be there and lingering because you can't change a group of people that's not you to treat you better. You say it all the time. Everybody's racist, right? It should be an expectation of a group that's not like you, be it white, be it Asian, be it Arab, be it whatever. And I would argue anybody, the most racist motherfucker against niggas ain't white people. Indians hate you. For real, for real. Sanjeet and Patel, you all kinds of when you're not around, right? But understanding the dynamic, right? The focus is here because that's the most important part to fix. We have to fix this. I know there's a turmoil between men and women in general, but do you think it's fair to say and to assess that the black man, black woman dynamic is the most fractured, is the most, has the most problems of any other group?
Yeah, I mean, just based on sheer numbers, you would have to agree with that point. Just assessing sheer numbers in terms of marriage, if we still believe that marriage is a good value assessment metric.
Well, it has to be. Well, hold on. It has to be. If we're still using it, we're saying that the men that earn the most are married men, right? And that two households earn the most, and that two double income households lead to more wealth, lead to more home purchasing, and equates to a better off life in general. Yeah, you have to. It has to be used as a metric, or at the very least, cohabitation, right? Because I don't think the Hispanics have a very, very high marriage rate. It's not too far from ours, but they have a high cohabitation rate as to how Hispanic households have a higher net worth than black households. So even if we don't use the quote unquote marriage thing officially, right? We're not living and working together and putting our money together enough to be able to even do what the what I'm saying, the group that may not be getting married or doing this on and so forth. So like you said, it has to be in some way, shape, or form a measuring, a point of
And
reference.
you just brought out that there's so many positive correlations with marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or cohabitation, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think that's why I was saying no to the marriage, just because of how many people aren't getting married, but still data kind of will speak on that as well, like Mr. Fantastic was saying. Because if we can, whatever data we can pull or extract, I'd rather include it instead of exclude it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if marriage is the most solidified or the most, I guess, proven or documented, I don't mind either or, but we can't just keep looking at marriage because the marriage rates aren't rising.
And shout out to Chief. And this I know people, they're gonna hate me for saying this, but I've been told you guys this. I don't think we realize just how much of a transition society is going through, and how we keep trying to hold on to things that just aren't. I don't know if it was you, Hamp. You didn't say it, but bro, marriage. What the hell does marriage mean?
Shit don't even hit
What
the
does
same
marriage?
no more.
It don't. That's what I'm saying. It's been redefined. If you are religious or you have a faith background, it's been defiled, right? So when marriage can mean any gender, being in a relationship with any gender, you being married, but the marriage being open, or married today, not married tomorrow. What the fuck does it mean? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no, 100%. I understand that thoroughly, right? Like people are getting married and failing at the same rate, right? 50% married, 50% divorced. Then
if you round it, yeah. If you want to round it,
if you round it, so it kind of waters down the sanctity and value because it's so easy, seemingly, for people to get divorced. A thing that is valuable, you would do everything you can to maintain it, right? And so, yeah, I understand you guys' point. I was making another point. I think you was up here when I'm like, it ain't marriage, it's the people.
Yeah. And yeah, but and then now look at the people. Look what are morals and values at this point? Yeah, right? I mean, we have to worry about, we have to protect our children from an ideology that defies science, that defies society, to where, you know, gender is being questioned, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I say it's just so many things that are changing so drastically, as to where you have to look at the value we're putting on things, or the labels, I guess, right? Because the end result has to be, okay, even if you don't get married to this person, if you have a child with this person, you guys should be living together, and you know, this should be first off planned, right? Should be planned. You both should be stable. You should have a plan, and you should do everything in your power to build something to pass down to the child you guys share, right? So if until we start, even at least at the bare minimum, doing that, especially, and like I said, we have, this is the crazy thing what bothers me, Ham, right? So if we want to go to married route, we have perfect examples. And I know people oh, why are you comparing? Well, you have to compare successful, or use successful as a bar. Otherwise, what are we doing? Business models do this, science does this. Anything that's successful, anything that works, literally works off this principle. Somehow, some way, though, we get mad. Oh well, you know, the Asians ain't this and the Asians ain't that. Well, the Asians are successful by the metrics that you measure success. You know what I'm saying? And even more so, we are more successful than this group of people, the Hispanics, but yet and still they're better than we are as a group, because they're you know what I'm saying, putting stuff together and doing shit. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that, I think we just need cultural reformation. When you look at the groups that you usually name, when you say the Chinese, the South Americans, the Central Americans, from a cultural standpoint, they have a cultural framework that's not going to have them be susceptible to the whims of any society that they interact with. When you look at Chinese people, they're steeped in Confucianism, which is based in civics. It's propriety. You put your community first. It's not about your individualism. And the thing with us adopting this Americanism, and it's not even really adopted because we've been formulated within a society. So, but us formulated within a society, not creating distinct cultural dynamics, we fall to the whims of whatever the dominant power structure wants to propagate. So when you look at that rainbow stuff, that's not going to affect people that have strong cultural framework. It affects us because again, we fall to the whims of society. We have to really take an evaluative look at our culture to see what really is beneficial and what's not. And we have to have those uncomfortable conversations. A lot of people want to cling to vestiges of stuff that's just not productive.
Yeah.
So I'll use the mic with that.
No, that's a hell of a point. That is a hell of a point, man. Our framework is fluid, huh, Tinga? Like, like literally, like whatever a trend is, they can attach it to us, right? Because that's one thing. Let me guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, but trends usually kind of go as we go,
Of
and then when
course.
we
No, you
support, sorry, go ahead.
no, you're 10,000% right. And unfortunately, like, we allow ourselves to be puppeted in what's the mascotted, right?
Mascot.
For this. We just seen this with the election, bro. You know what I'm saying? And these get your booty to the polls, and the representation to get your vote is a rapper that's gyrating, right? And you keep promising the same thing. Shout out to Tanga. Tanga's correct. And I think this is what we've been saying, but this is the hard part, Ham. You say it all the time, right? No matter what your belief system may be, we have to establish that and get, because we once had it. So this is the only part where I won't say I disagree. Tanga's correct. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm saying now we do have to take a trip back as to how, in the worst of the worst of positions, Jim Crow, right? Marriage rates was like what 70%, 70, 80%, something, right?
Yep.
And you're fighting together. So how did we lose that in worse conditions, and now we're in better conditions and we can't get back to it? That's what gives me call for pause, or baffles me.
Go ahead, Chief.
So I think that, to that aspect though, I think we romanticize that. Like I don't even think I think the teamwork happened because it had to, not necessarily because it was optional. So certain things, like for example, I know what was brought up is we had like men was just beating on women. Like every day, and most men were doing it. But if a large chunk of men are doing it, I think Shad said it was around 30%. That's a lot still, right? So if you get more options to not only feel liberated or separated, and you're able to thrive in a way that you've never been able to do before, who wants to go back? Is the question. Like, I wouldn't want to go back. Not saying as a woman, like, but just generally speaking, if I've experienced freedom as an individual, I don't want to go. I don't want to jeopardize that. Very, very similarly to jail. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to lose none of the rights that I have. Right. So I think when we look at that time frame, I feel like it's more like that, and we kind of romanticize it. Unless somebody's got like some kind of memoir or something that a woman may have wrote during that time frame or whatever the case, to say otherwise.
But I think it's a necessity now, and it's really always been a necessity. In my opinion, until we attain autonomy, that's the framework I'm looking at. It's always going to be a necessity, and autonomy is going to be continuous. So, I
So
definitely agree with what you're saying, though, as far as romanticization of certain
wait,
dynamics. That's
before
definitely
you go too far, can you break down autonomy for me? Like, what do you mean by that?
autonomy is controlling your means of production from a base
Okay.
level, your culture, your
Controlling
language,
as a
everything.
people. Yeah.
We as a people. It's not that's why I view things from really a Garveyism lens. To me, that's the most masculine form of expression. It will be Garveyism as for
Well,
black people.
a absolute level of independence.
Yes, that should be
So,
the ultimate
I'm
level.
glad you clarified that, because there are people today that would disagree with your sentiment that we don't have autonomy currently. All right. So now that you express it, I think that makes more sense
So
about
even
to
even
the
with
meaning of it.
even what Ting is saying, right? Because the world operates in a particular way, right? So I think, and Tenga, correct me, I'm just gonna make this statement. I think he understands you have to have some level of production, trade, means, because you still have to operate with other people, right? You're not gonna be able to grow everything, build everything, you know. So I think he understands that we're within a confine, right? But like I have, so like my guys have autonomy when they're doing the moves, right? I want you to wrap the things in a particular way. But if you have a little bit of a different style, if you want to stack the truck a particular way, you have a full autonomy, right? But there are still confines, because we're in a world where we live with other people, other places, other countries, and etc. Right? So you're gonna have to operate within that framework to an extent. He just want to make sure you operate within that framework for yourself.
It's reducing the level of dependence because when you're
Yeah.
dependent on someone, they hold the power over you, and that's the dynamic that we're in all over the world.
Yeah.
When you have a certain level of dependence, there is no autonomy. We don't control our water source. We don't control our means of production. We don't refine any raw materials at any substantial level. We're as far if we want to really take an analysis of where we are, we're not that much different from a fundamental basis than we were from slavery times as far as what we control and operate as a people, as communal people. As individuals, dynamics have gotten better, but communally it's no different than what it was during slavery.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, but that's gonna be a hard sell, man, because even everywhere, right? Even if we go back to the Africa aspect of it, the resources are there, but they don't have the materials and equipment to access those resources. So that's a huge feat to put on a group of people to say that you're going to have to be able to not only find and own and pretty much protect resources, which we know comes with land, which you have to own, right? So when we go to that extent, that's more of a like, and I'm not saying the whole Garvey thing to where we have to leave this place, which is home. Everybody know this. No matter what you feel or think or whatever, this is home. All right. So in order for you to ever achieve that, you would have to leave home and establish a new home, which you would still put you in that position because that's not your land. It's being borrowed or it's being leased or it's being given to you. And as you said yourself, now we're back into the same point. Whenever you're given something, that means you're at the mercy and the power of the people that are giving it to you. And as we know, the one of the biggest issues and problems when we talk about the diaspora is the lack of respect. I guess between the different factions or whatnot, what have you. One of the biggest issues and problems that Black Americans have is they say if and when they go to Africa, they get the Black American tax. You brother, sister, all this stuff or whatever. But when it's time to act, you get the American tax, and that's the problem.
No, there are definitely problems, and with Garveyism, there's no, it doesn't necessitate you to leave wherever you view as your specific home. To me, it's establishing those relationships to make means of trade easier. If we had bases outside, like it's not even just Africa. When you just look at any place to establish trade, that to me, we are too stuck in looking at in the confines of the United States as far as just having that our base of economics. You can have established relationships outside of the United States to make your economic situation here be more viable. And to me, that's the most logical way of doing it, because that's what everyone's doing. You're gonna get rates once you establish relationships outside of those borders with people that are trustworthy. Then you're gonna get rates of raw materials. And I'm not even saying creating as far as refineries here, but again, partnering with other people to create that technology, because we have the access to the education, we have the access to the state of the art technology. Us interacting with other people on a equal footing and equal basis that are our people, that's going to be, I say, the caveat for us to actually obtain autonomy as a group of people. It's not, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's like there's this huge movement of everybody to go to what people perceive as Africa. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get clarity on. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that a lot of Black Americans, like, I understand the disdain for America and frustration, but generally speaking, man, the opportunities here, I just think we could do it here if we're building off of what you're saying. Like, there's no way I want to go to another country, or and I know you said don't move, but I don't mind importing goods and doing stuff like that, but leaving to go
Yeah, but
somewhere
that's what
else.
I'm saying.
Yeah. So you're saying import, not necessarily uproot, but import.
No, yeah. You establish the relationships, like, go back and forth. It's not about just staying there, because again, I'm realistic. Most African Americans, even Caribbeans, they're used to a certain level of infrastructure. To ask somebody to uproot themselves from infrastructure that they're used to, cultural aspects that they have affinity to, that's not realistic, and that's not fair for the average individual to do. I'm saying for economically, it makes more sense to establish those relationships, and it's not just Africa; it's all throughout the world. But you have to do it on an equal means, and we have a lot of leverage that we don't use, and the power structure uses that against us, because they know that we're only looking within these confines of the United States.
Well, just once you get on that level, now you're competing with other governments, right? And I think what was it, Hamp? We're still top 30 in the world, right? 1.5 trillion or something like that. Spending, what's the name? I think Black people would be.
Black people.
Yeah, I think it'd be like a top 30.
Yeah.
What's the name in the world?
Yeah,
Economy.
It says that we actually. Go ahead, Tanga.
Oh no, you good, brother. You good.
Oh, and I was just saying, we actually did a breakdown on that. It was Shad and I. It was a Wednesday show, and it was saying that that's gross. I think if they went to the net of what we can, you know what I mean, because that's what you would be buying stuff with, essentially. So after we pay our mortgages and rents, our spending power isn't that $1 trillion number. That's a gross number.
Yeah, okay, gross.
But I mean, it's a lot gross. Revenue, like our revenue's high, but what's our actual margin of profit is kind of low.
So even with that, right? The problem is now once you get on that point, Tanga, you're competing with other governments, and it's and again, I understand it. What you're saying is right, but once you start playing that game, that's a big game to play, because everything's for resources, right? Everything's for resources. So if you're a group of people within a government or within a thing that's going to be able to, even the agents can't do that, right? So the agents may have a link back to their homeland and wherever they are, so on and so forth. But even they are kept at a distance because they aren't seen as, if you're Chinese American, you're not treated or seen as Chinese. Yeah, you can get some motherfucking, Peking duck for the low, right? But gold and silver, and uranium, and the shit that's for real, it's illegal for you to get those things, right? And one of the biggest things I don't think people are understanding is what's been going on with the precious metals, right? So
skyrocketing in value.
Hey, listen, bro. Again, but that's another thing for another day, right? But nah, I feel you, Tanker, bro. But just those commodities and those things that would matter the most, that is something that's going to be reserved for an entire country, right? You won't be allowed to ever have an impact on oil or have control over oil. You know what I'm saying? The minerals that we did, it would be and then then like Hamp said, you get into the processing aspect, right? The refinery of things is just not worth it. I feel what you're saying, and that's why I say and I'm not saying you were alluding to the moving thing, right? I'm not saying you were alluding to it, but just like here, right? When if black people had a section of land that was oil rich and oil heavy, yeah, we own that, and then we can be able to get paid for that through Exxon or whoever, right? The oil companies, because we have that land and we own it. When you start talking about that level of resources, that's what we have to have. And if you just don't already own that land or have parts of the land where it is, that's going to be hard to fulfill. It's going to be hard to carry out.
Within certain but strategically, like if you look at like a place like Liberia, for example, or Sierra Leone, through the American Colonization Society, they already have established ties with quote unquote United States. From a colonial standpoint, of course, yes, but there's aspects and forms within the government that are begging for somebody that's outside of the current governmental structures that can provide some type of ulterior way that they can refine raw materials. There's already private companies that are doing this. They want if there was an entity that came about that was actually going to do it on equal footing, they would of course be with that. And we already have ties to within certain governments as well already. But I definitely agree with you saying. It's definitely a different ball game. But that's what I'm saying. As men, I think that's what we should be striving for ultimately. And we have to formulate and create the strategies to execute it. And I think we waste a lot of time on trivial nonsense when that's the type of stuff we should be focusing on. Just leveraging our know-how and leveraging our access to capital to exponentially grow our communities.
Post, did you
We
want
gotta
to get
think
in?
outside the box, in my opinion.
Yeah, you definitely have to be. Ingenuity is gonna matter, for sure. Post, you haven't said anything. What's popping?
What's going on? Yeah, I ain't want to change. They kind of went somewhere, and I was just letting them go. You feel me? I ain't want to, because what I was gonna say was gonna kind of flip it back somewhere. So I was just.
Well, no, I think go ahead, talk your shit. I think we can definitely come back to this for sure.
Okay. 2K was right, and the reason that he was right is even though them getting degrees should be a good thing, for some reason they think that makes them better than men. So when that comes, it's like you're not actually gonna help the community. You only gonna help thyself.
Okay, so you're saying the degrees are self-serving.
Yep. Because when they get a degree, money, a house, all of a sudden that makes them think that they are better than the man now.
What? Let me ask you a question. What would make her better?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. So if she has, let's say she checks off the money, the home ownership, the education boxes, and you compare those two things, her to a man, is she not better?
Statistically speaking, but at any moment he could come take what she have. So it's just an uncomparable thing. Like,
She has the police though.
and um, who is a what?
A man. But I'm just saying
You
though.
see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
her assistance is still gonna come from another man. So just because you have accolades, don't make you better than a man.
Well, are you saying that she's not more physically capable than him? Is better based on physicality?
Physicality, leadership, um, Those would be the main things, because at any given moment, if something is stripped away, you have to go back to where there is no police, then you would not necessarily be able to have that. So to then think that you're better than men because another man is protecting you just doesn't make sense. And I'm not saying that to tell them to not go get their accolades, but why even are you competing or worrying about being better than a man?
Okay. All right. So does this? So Post, how much you weigh?
140.
How much you bench?
See how much I what?
Bench press.
195.
So I'm better than you.
If you could beat me, then we would have to say you better than me.
Like you stole something.
Now, am I gonna think that in my mind? No. But logically speaking, if you beat me, you better than me.
Well, I guess because it's just physical, just straight physical prowess. Like how, like we pigeonholing ourselves, Post, because
Really
now the
bad
man
when
with
we
the
do
most,
this.
huh?
Like you stole something that's diabolical.
No,
we
I'm
doing
saying-
we doing it. It's so bad when we do it, Hamp. I just don't think. Like, here's the thing about the force doctrine, and I agree and understand it, right? Because it's
Okay.
the same shit that happened.
I like the
with,
combo, Post. We just trying to walk it down. That's
Yeah, we
all.
just got to expand a little bit. But Andrew Wilson couldn't open a fucking jar of olives, and he
Yeah, but
want to
that's
talk about.
Oh, but that's not most men. Come on now.
No. We don't play defense. If Andrew Wilson is the voice of force doctrine, and I know
Mhm.
fantastic, Hamp, pretty much anybody on this panel can beat the shit out of him. Why is he talking about force doctrine?
Well, because if he's still talking to a woman, Andrew Wilson is still gonna beat said woman. So
So
even
here,
though I get what you're saying, he's still winning in that aspect, regardless.
Post. Force doctrine don't have no gender to it. Force doctrine, the way to beat that argument is all you got to find is people that agree with your ideology and go beat up the other people. It's not even about gender at that point. It's about who got more force. So let's say this. Let's say
But that's how
there are
everything works.
Okay, watch this. Let's say
Think
there
about
are
it.
1 million. Hear me out. Let's say there are 1 million men that agree that women shouldn't be able to do some shit. Right? It's more men than women for sure. But let's say it's 2 million men that say they should do some shit.
So who gonna win? The one that wins is gonna determine what happened, right?
The point is, force doctrine goes both ways. It doesn't prove anything. We keep making force doctrine. We keep making force doctrine a gender thing, but it's not a gender thing. It's a doctrine. It's the idea. It's this thing that's being said. I have more force than you, but who says the woman has to have the force herself? Why do we think that women need to have the force themselves and not have people that believe in their ideology to make the force? Police
Well,
officers probably don't agree with us politically, but guess what?
mhm.
If they say you can't do this, guess who's restricted? They don't have to agree with something. They just got to agree with the ideology and the purpose of a thing and align that way.
But you do realize that would still mean that the police is more powerful than us, correct?
How many people are in the police?
But just a yes or no question.
Well, that's my point is the police aren't powerful because they have more numbers or have more force. They have more power because of what they back.
Authority. They have authority.
Exactly. And they're representing who when they have that authority.
And how do they get authority? What backs their what gives them authority?
The country itself. Hamp, when Hamp said this last
Power.
night, when I got indicted, that shit said me versus the entire
United
state.
States.
The whole
United
fucking state.
Power.
Yeah, but
It's power. It's just like we owe other countries money, but it's almost irrelevant because who gonna make us give them the money?
Right. So the same thing would apply to this. If the entire system or government or system says women have this right and men are saying no they don't, who gonna win that battle?
But that's not the issue. The issue is that they think that they're better now. That's where the issue comes in.
Based off of
What
okay, so
what gives you
who determined that they were better? What are they using to measure better?
anything that they would like almost, which would, like I said, houses, cars, money, job, degree,
Okay.
anything they
Okay,
can
perfect.
figure to
All right,
pick out.
perfect. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think in America, if you have the biggest house, the best driving car, the highest degree, and the most money, does that make you better in America?
Um, okay, from what you said, yes, because you said from America. So yes, you're right, from America. But no, because see what you're doing is you're not you're leaving it just where it is. What I'm saying is that the issue is that they still think that they're better, but it's just because of the men that are in charge that has it that way. That's the whole point. So if someone else has you in charge, why do you all of a sudden think you're better? Why can't you just
Okay, so let me. How does this? Let me. How about this? A child is better than an infant in the womb. I am better than a high school child is better than a child that's better than the infant in the womb. I'm better than both of them because I am an adult. But if I'm a high schooler, does that mean I'm not better than anybody?
um you would be better than the people that are below you.
Okay,
However,
so if somebody
hold on,
if
hold
somebody
on.
matches, I
That
got you,
middle
got you.
schooler, that middle schooler that you think you're better than, he comes and he does you in. You're not better than him no more.
Wait, but that's only if that happens. It's a hypothetical. So until that happens, what does that make them?
Hold on. You can say it's
Uh-huh.
hypothetical, but some things we know.
Uh-huh. What
Can we
some
not
things we
agree
know.
that men are
Uh-huh.
stronger than women?
I agree, but there's a man stronger.
That
So wait.
but that's not a
We're on the same
hypothetical
page.
point. So
Wait, no, that is hypothetical. Men are
that's
stronger
not
than women
hypothetical.
generally.
Right,
No.
that's not
I'm not.
hypothetical.
No, that you're right. That is a fact. That is a fact. Most men, right, by and large, are stronger than most women on average. Right? Is there anything to offset that at all? Is there anything that could prevent somebody stronger than you from getting advantage on you?
Yes. But say you're stronger than me. Let's just do it this way. Let's say you're stronger
Okay.
than me,
Yeah.
but I go and get three other people to stop you from getting to me, right?
Okay.
Does that mean now what do I look like disrespecting those three people that are the only thing that stop you from me? What do I look like thinking I'm better than them three people?
You're right. But then now look at this. There's an entire governmental structure that says if you touch that one, you're going to jail, and all three of y'all don't equal to that. See, you see how and on every level, whatever you're saying, if they say they're better, right, and we're using the metrics that Americans have agreed to for whatever reason, all right, well, we don't have to get into the soul and the spirit, and men are more than money, women are. But if they're using the same metric that America's already used and justified, and we all agree that's kind of what we go with. They have the system that kind of protects them, right, or level of enforcement. If they are better, they're just better? It is what it is. And if they're not better, they're not better. But in the points that
They're
matter,
not. That's the point.
okay, so what
But
makes a man better than a woman?
literally the fact that a woman came from a man. Does it need to go any further than that? Physicality. Do I need to keep
Wait.
going?
All right. No, listen to what you just did. When Hamp said, "What makes a woman better than a man?" There was absolutely nothing. So from no point can a woman be better than a man. But now when I asked you what makes a man better than a woman, it's simply for the fact because he's a man and he nutted, right?
Um, no, meaning she came from him, meaning that she came. Eve came from Adam Rhea.
Oh, we're
So,
talking about
and
ancient. My boy, I didn't think that
I
far
mean, you
back. My
asked.
bad.
That's where it started.
I
So
got you. Okay. Okay. So you saying God made us better?
I mean, would you like to bleed once a month?
No, but here's my
Whoa,
question to
whoa,
you.
whoa, whoa.
Well, oh wait, hold on. You eat pork? When was the last time you had a pork chop or a rib? Last time you wore them fringes,
Ooh,
my brother.
about 3 weeks ago.
Damn. When them fringes, where them fringes at? I don't see you represent Israel too well. How do I know you Israel if you don't got them fringes, my boy?
Uh, we don't represent Israel,
Oh
but
my
all
God. So
I'm
why the
saying,
hell you gonna use that standard
hold on.
that you don't even
No, 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 no. When you said Israel, I assumed you meant Israel as the Jews. Modern day Israel is what, or we different.
That's
Like, is
fine.
that not
My,
what you were
my, my
saying?
point is we love using standards that nobody follow ever besides one nigga on the panel. This nigga don't have no shape up ever. This shit always rounded. He ain't cut his beard in 30 years and it's still the
Hmm.
same as mine. This nigga is the most, technically, the most godly, righteous man on the fucking panel. And guess what? He don't say no dumb shit like, never mind, bro. Come on, bro. Like, come on. Nobody believe this shit. Y'all, I can't. We don't believe this. We don't live like we believe it. Come on, stop using it. Stop it.
No, because no, no, no. See,
No.
whether we agree to something or whether we do it does not change what it is. So even if it's something that I don't live by, if that was the case, that doesn't make it not right now just because I choose not to live by it. Right is still right regardless of the person.
It makes it arbitrary because the only reason why you're agreeing is because it say that. What if I find your religion that say women better than men? Does that make my religion right? And there are religions that do that, by the way, just to let you know. That
Okay,
look at women as
great.
deities.
And what would you possibly be able to use to back that up?
I'll go to the Hindu book that say women are gods. Or African
Okay,
books
great.
that say
And what?
women are gods. How about that?
Okay, great.
Nicolo, help me,
Great.
brother.
So
You
let's
know
say that.
African shit.
Great.
Ain't there
You can say
African
it.
shit that say women is gods?
Maufe.
Great. So
Now
what would
listen,
back that up?
Nagolo,
brother.
help me, brother out. You know the African shit.
It's not. But
Give me.
if we
No,
talking about
Chinky, you
Africa,
tell me.
I don't have to
when we
tell you. You
talking
don't know
about
why? Because I don't have to believe in it. You don't. What are you
Psalms,
saying?
Psalms 82 and
So,
6.
okay, so even let's say you want to get religion out of the way. If you went by nature, again, what would you possibly have that could back up your claim
That women are better than men or men are better than women?
that women are better than men?
The ideology. That's what I have to back it up. If I have enough people that believe women are better than men and you don't have enough people, I win based off of force doctrine.
I think,
Again,
brother,
this
you
this has nothing to do with nature. When I'm asking you a natural thing, the same way that you asked me how were they better, and I gave you some things, even if you agreed, disagreed, didn't like, I gave it. You're not giving any reason that would disprove what I said or to support the claim of that women are better than men.
I said ideology. That's it. If you agree, if you think that's the reason why,
What makes up your
because they stronger.
ideology?
Say that again.
Is it just
Explain.
backed up? What makes your ideology? Like, what is it backed up by? You just have it to have it?
That's literally how all these things is working. You have no reason to think. You have no reason to think men are better than women. Besides,
I do.
a woman came. Besides, a woman came out of a man's rib based off of your statement.
I also said physicality. Did you not hear that?
Okay, sure.
that's
And then I could
subjective.
say, and my response to that is that doesn't make anybody better. That makes them stronger in this area. Sure, there's men. Hold on, Hamp asked you this for a reason. You are 145 and your max is 195. Hamp is 5'8", 260. He probably dropped some weight for the fight and can bench 400 pounds. We got video records. Are you better than him or is he better than you?
If you lined the two numbers up, I would say he would probably win. But until I would see that, I wouldn't
I didn't
admit
say
that.
no. Listen to what I said. I didn't say would he probably win. Is he better than you?
If it did not say earlier if he
You
won,
see
that
how,
means he's better. So yes,
you see how it ain't so simple. You saying
Did I
that so
not say that
simple
earlier though?
when the nigga is clearly wait, listen to what you just said. You said women are less than, right, or not better because of physicality.
Right.
We just ran the stats. You're 145, that bench 195, and we don't know how to tell you all. They may play support, maybe not. I don't think so,
5'7",
right?
5'7".
Little fella
All right.
federation like a motherfucker.
Stop! Don't do that. See, shut up. Don't do that. Fantastic. Don't do it. Hamp is 5'8", 260. Bitch is 435 in a house.
Brother, you can't go outside in a strong wind, brother. You can't go outside in 20 miles
You're not
per hour.
asking about wind. No,
I was just out
you're not
there.
asking about-
Didn't you see
you're
me
not
walking
asking
in? I
about
was just
wind.
out there. What you talking about?
It wasn't. Hey,
You're
I
not
know the
asking about
winds
wind.
were less than 10 miles per
Stop
hour.
saving the man. Is Hamp
These
better
legs
than you?
still boulders, fantastic.
Is he better than you? Stop! Don't dodge this shit. Is he better than you?
Yes, like I said earlier, like I told him, if he wins, he's better.
Not if
What?
he.
Because again,
Not if. No.
If
Because you keep doing. Keep
okay,
doing this thing where you allow a possibility.
because
A
you're
woman
trying to
can
give him
beat
an
a man.
automatic win as
Stop.
if that I've never beaten someone that was bigger than me. So what are we doing?
A woman can beat a man then, right? There's a possibility. You're leaving that inch a possibility for
There's
you.
no possibility.
There is a
Brother,
possibility.
you doing the same thing he's saying,
You're
brother.
doing yourself dirty. You're leaving that inch. If I come on.
Okay.
If
Do
I have this possibility.
do you know why?
And a woman's possibility.
How about you
is
ask why?
Brother, you not as physically opposing as the other force. So again, you would be susceptible to that stronger and greater force.
So what you telling me is that just hold on. What you telling me is that there is no way that someone bigger than smaller than someone cannot beat the bigger person.
No, I'm not saying
women
that.
can
But
do it
again,
too,
that
right?
links back to Brother Chief's argument that he's saying there's a possibility that a female could beat him. We know it's not probable, but again, what you're not accounting for, brother, within this force doctrine, the main thing within force doctrine is mental. What separates us biologically from other animals is our mental capacity, our ability to formulate weapons and technology. It's not about our physical prowess.
We cannot let him escape.
But they also matter.
We cannot let him escape this. No.
There's no escaping.
He has to deal with this without all the extra. Is Hamp better than you?
If he proves it, I don't know why we have to keep doing this. I answered it.
No. Don't give any room. Don't get no wiggle room. Is Hamp better than you? He's taller.
No, if that's the case, no, because you're never gonna admit me to get me to admit that someone's gonna beat me that hasn't proven that they beat me. It's not happening.
You're being logically inconsistent, bro.
Look at this. All right, now that we got this concession that he not better than you sound. Who does that sound like? No matter what the metrics say, no matter how much you can outdo me, you not better than me.
A competitor.
You can beat me.
A competitor. That's what it sounds like, a competitor.
Great. So now that we live in a society where
how could I beat Michael Jordan? No. How can I beat Michael Jordan if I don't think that I can beat Michael Jordan?
Now that we are living in a society where women are considered competitors in job markets and the things that you want, don't it sound like they're being really good competitors because they are outbeating people?
I guess you would say in the job market, yes, but that still doesn't make you better.
Why not? Because they can't beat up a man.
Correct. So again, if you in said house, no, because again, if you in said house with said man, and you try that, and then he does you in, what's gonna happen? You're gonna be proven that you're still not better.
Okay, if Hamp break into your house and you don't have no weapons.
If Hamp break into my house and I can't stop him, then he's better. I don't understand. This isn't like,
bro. You got so much caveat for yourself than you do for women. Is there a possibility a woman can beat up a man?
Yes, because you said possibility, but
That's all I
there.
needed. There's a
Hold on.
possibility, and there's a
The
possibility. There's a
very
possibility
no
for
no
you
no
to
no
be
no
a
no no no
man.
no no no
That's
no no
all we
no no
need.
no 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 nope nope because there is way better likelihood that a man we're gonna even go I'm gonna go extreme, a 5 foot 100 pound man would stand a much better chance to be the 6 foot 200 pound man than a woman would that would be 200 pounds to beat that same man that's 100 pounds.
It's not a big difference, brother. There's a difference, I would agree, but it's not a big difference. But you
Hey,
logically, brother,
somebody,
with all due
brother,
respect,
hold
brother,
on, hold on,
you
brother. Are you
defending
sitting
logic,
down?
brother.
I just need to make sure you're sitting down.
Yes,
It's
sir.
gonna be a rough day on both ends of that spectrum. It's gonna be a rough day if that if that 5'5", 125 man run into a 200-pound woman. It's a rough day. And if you meet Mr. Fantastic, it's a rougher day. But guess what? It's still a rough day. He not having a good day. He gonna be like that nigga Dean the Great. You got
Okay, great.
slapping your elbow
So
in two
great.
different situations.
So what you should do then, Chief, is tell them that there's no point in having a woman's division and having a man's division. Everybody should just compete because the probability and possibility could be endless. So we should just let
That's
them
not my,
all compete.
that's not my stance. That's your stance. As long as there's a possibility, you will never concede defeat.
No, because if proven, then you could do it.
Okay, well, you got to prove that every woman that has a degree can't
No, you
beat
don't.
another man up too. Can you prove that?
No, you don't, because we know
Can
this.
you prove it?
Yes, it's been proven. It's science. It's biology. It's been proven
That women with degrees can't beat up men?
that women cannot beat up men. Whether you add a degree, don't add a degree, it's irrelevant.
That is not irrelevant. There are plenty of women. There's plenty of shows and women, especially with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. You don't want those problems with a woman that's bigger and you don't have the same knowledge or equipment. I'm telling you, you don't want to do that.
Even smaller.
Even smaller, you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to fight and she know how to fight and you're not prepared, you're gonna have a bad day and you're gonna be embarrassed.
Yeah. So let me just interject real quick, right? So I understand the force doctrine because at the end of the day, the argument for this force doctrine is at the end of the day, everything is predicated by that, right? Naturally and societally or whatever, right? If you can impose the most force or you're the most I guess dangerous or impactful person, you have the authority, you have the final say, right? The problem is, like you say, once we start doing it, and there's too many exceptions to the rules, right? Because even though you 5'7", 140, right? If you are
Yes, sir.
incredibly skilled, you know what I'm saying? If you let's say you're a fucking brown belt in jujitsu, right? It doesn't matter how much the untrained man wears. You're going, you know what I'm saying? Now he still has a chance, and it may be a little bit more difficult, but that is the exception, not the rule, right? More likely than not, when we're just talking about force, it's just strictly that the bigger, stronger person, entity, or whatnot, what have you, is always going to win because it can exert more force. So I feel you from there, but then then you start doing different things. Now we're talking physical force, of course. The man's always going to come out in the end. But if you're talking societal and systems and shit, that's when it starts getting, starts getting shaky because you can do what you want to a woman from a force standpoint, but then like Chiki said earlier, the United States government is behind her, the state government is behind her, society's behind her, right? Hamp just gave the example of his homeboy getting jumped by a whole bunch of women, and because he cold cocked one of them, right, and got the best of one out of being jumped, he paid the price, even though he was the victim. But society doesn't see a man as a victim, no matter what, outside of damn near death or death, to when a woman's attacking him. So that's the flaw in what you're saying, bro. In essence, we got you, but it's just never that cut and dry, for the most part.
Yeah.
And motherfucking Andrew
I get
Wilson,
you.
weak ass pickle jar.
Yeah, I get you. But my point is though, if you and another man is in the room and that man then kicked your ass, you're not gonna think or you may think it, but you're not gonna be able to put out that you better than him. That's just never gonna be able to fly because he'll prove to you again that that's not the case.
Well, even that though, I mean, you could question, you could argue that, right? Ali Frazier, right? I think what Ali won 2 out of the 3, right? 2 out
Yep.
of 3 was Ali, right? So if you're equally matched and you're 2 men and so on and so forth, yeah, you might get me today, but I can get you tomorrow, right? It's very, very few people
But
if we're talking. Go ahead, you got it.
but typically that means that we'll earn each other's respect. You get what I'm saying? Because even though you might be able to get me today and I can get you tomorrow, we at least come to a point that we respect each other because you get what I'm saying? Like you at least see that that person is capable.
Oh man, I don't know. Post, you have to concede if you're gonna stay logical and consistent. Like there's just comparatively, you don't have any advantages. Just like you saying that the women don't have any advantages. So why not just concede so you can stay logically consistent? Like what do you think?
Okay.
What do you think you're gonna like?
But
What would be the? How would you gain the advantage if it's predicated on force?
okay, because I've actually beaten up people that was actually bigger than me. So for me to just concede with actually have proven that it wouldn't make sense.
Well, but women have beaten men before. You see how so then you said but never will they succeed against a man, but we seen them beat up men before.
I This is just me personally.
Okay.
I've never seen a man that was actually trying to fight a woman, not thinking that he was fighting a woman like he would fight a man, fight a woman and lose. I've just never seen that.
Yeah, the trans my battery keep
What
overheating, but
hood you
yeah,
from? You ain't never seen a big girl beat up?
transgender
Hey,
remember the
Yeah, when
trans
I was younger, you feel
You
what I'm saying?
you
Of
ain't
course,
even
if they
not
was
as
oh,
old,
kids, but not as
transgender
transgender
now.
grown
now.
men.
they
I
had
done
the
seen some
Listen,
big girls giving a man the
well
beats. He couldn't forget about it.
wait. Let's use one that's tangible, right? That guy named Fallon Fox, he was fighting in the mixed martial arts arena, not UFC. Dana said he would never let him fight. But he beat up a few women, but he lost in the end. He lost to a woman. She beat him. And these are two people who are fighting professionally, essentially. There's a video in DC. This girl in a pink dress. If somebody could find it for me, send it. And the dude like tried to run at her. She hit him with a right hook, dropped him, punched him a few times, and then she walked off. That video is pretty popular. So we're just saying it's possible. Like for instance, yeah, there's weight classes for men too. I was sparring yesterday, and it was a bunch of small guys. 'Cause I went so early in the morning, and coach was like, "Hey, take a little off it." And
Hmm.
I'm thinking I was, but you just heavy, so you throwing, and they swinging for the fences. And then coach like, "Hey man, just because it doesn't hurt, don't mean you should be dropping your hands." I'm like, "My bad, coach. That shit just don't fucking hurt. Like it just don't hurt when you get hit by heavyweights all day, right, Mister Fantastic?
yeah, totally
Heavyweight
different.
shit hit different. So when you used to getting punched, and then the guys that are like 160 punching you, I'm like, well, I just give them that so I can get mine off.
Exactly. Just walk through that shit. Take one to give two.
Yeah, I don't know,
But
man.
yeah, if you notice, that's why I said if you go by the stats, you should win. And I wouldn't be telling nobody to put their money on me. But you're not gonna get me to just say you better without proving to me that you're better.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
That
saying
was
yeah,
my
but
only
Wimbledon.
point.
He
saying
still
pride?
yeah,
Wimbledon. It don't
Well,
matter.
we
That's
got
just
that
it.
right. Go ahead,
That thought process that you're displaying is the same thought process that females have. Until they proven otherwise, they finna have that same modus operandi, brother. What you displaying
Exactly.
is female
No,
logic, brother. What you would class as that.
no. What I'm displaying is the competitive behavior. That's how athletes think. That's how
No,
competitors are. Until you actually prove you can beat me, I'm not gonna think you beat me. And then
I
after, even
agree.
if you beat me, I'm gonna come
We got
back
you.
and figure out a way to beat you.
I, I
No,
agree, but most
we
people would declare that as delusion, and that's what people try to purport females as being as delusional.
yeah,
It's
bro.
the same
Yeah, and
thing,
again,
brother.
like just to keep it like say anything, right? You can like let's just make something that's clear as day, right? Shakari Richardson, bro. You're not beating Shakari Richardson in a
You're not
fucking foot
beating
race,
her.
dog. You're not beating her. I don't give a fuck how much you believe it, how much you what's name. So if a person said, hey, is Sha'Carri Richardson faster than you, and you're not an Olympic class, you know what I mean, or world class athlete in speed and running, brother, it's easy to give a concession and say, hey, Sha'Carri Richardson is faster than me, regardless of her, you never racing her. We know, and you know, and that's all we saying, bro. Like I said, can you beat LeBron James? Is it possible? Yes. I guess we're using the wrong word. Anything is possible except for flying. Okay, ain't a nigga
But
that can
see,
fly yet. Okay. But outside of that, I guess we got to stick in the probable realm. Listen, me and John Jones are like the same size. I can't beat John Jones with one fucking arm tied behind his back, bro. At my best, okay. It's easy for me to say that. Being comparable, having a little bit of combat training and whatnot, what have you, comparable in size. Hell, I think John's a little younger than me, comparable in age, all these different things. John Jones gonna whoop my motherfucking ass, bro. Okay. I know
And that
that.
don't
And
make
it's
you,
as
and
a
that don't
man,
make John Jones a
it,
better man than
but
Fantastic.
yeah,
but
it makes him a
hold on,
John
T.
Jones also was a
But
cokehead and a
but
drunk. Fantastic is better than a
if
cokehead and a drunk. I'm sorry. Hate to break the
if you
news
would
to
have
you.
asked me
Fantastic is
if
better.
if I could beat Shakari in a race, I would have said no. The same questions you answered no to, I would have said no to. But
So
again,
what's
and what's the difference? They're actually professionals. So I'm not gonna just say that I can beat the professional.
Okay, so hold on. So we don't know your background, brother. So enlighten us. Are you a fighter, or do you train to fight? Do you train to box, or any type of martial
No,
arts? All
no.
right. So hold on. So cheeky, cheeky, Hamp, you finna do what? You finna fight for what? National fucking Golden Gloves, right?
Yo, this the Masters competition on next Saturday.
Yeah. So
Oh shit.
maybe you. Okay. So shit. Okay, you didn't know. Okay. Okay. So you didn't know. All right, so Hamp's not a professional per se, but he's damn near close. It in competition for a national level of prowess, brother. All right, so
Okay.
now that
Well
he's
then
giving
I
you,
would take back what I said then. You feel what I'm saying? Because
okay,
that means he's way
and just
more,
to be
you feel me,
honest, and
capable.
just to be honest, so let me walk this down for you too, right? So now everything being equal, this like Hamp said, this is really a teachable moment. I don't think a lot of people understand it. This is why they say they make weight classes for a reason. As good as fucking Floyd Mayweather was, at one point in time, they was talking about Floyd Mayweather fighting fucking Andre Ward. Some crazy shit. They had some beef or whatever, so on and so forth. And it's like, well, hey man, fuck, if we can stop all this talking shit and we can just fucking get in the ring. Andre Ward was a fucking light heavyweight. Okay. Floyd, as heavy as Floyd got, I think he was like what, welter, like super welter or some shit. Either way, right?
170, something like that.
Yeah, not even 160, not even. But yeah, it's like one. I think it might have hit 160. But either way, right? Yeah. So even at the top skill, bro, physical prowess comes into the thing. Hamp would literally do you like motherfucking the Hulk did Loki in the fucking Avengers, dog. That's 100%. Like he literally double like outweighs you by 100%, and you know he has just natural strength and so on and so forth. So as a man, right? Even like me looking at a certain dude or whatnot and understanding, we just gotta be realistic, bro. Like if niggas say he whooped my ass and I have an exception because I'm on the bigger side of things. Pause. I'm a bigger guy. So we just talking no skill to no skill and just raw strength to raw strength. I'm outside of the scale because of my physical prowess. But you tell me somebody that's been boxing for, I don't know how many years of doing MMA, bro. Hey, you got it. I'm gonna lay that shit down regardless. Even if he got me by bro, Mighty Mouse fucking Demetrius Johnson whooping my ass, bro. If we talking
But
martial
but
arts.
you see when you educated me though, I conceded. I didn't still once knowing his level of skill, still try to debate that.
Well, even without the skill, brother, like if you guys were unskilled, like I said, the physical power, that's too much for you to overcome, dog. He just talk. He like I just even thought about this. Hamp outweighs more than what you can fucking bench press. So if he gets on top of you, pause, it's over. He can literally just lay on you and just lay there, and there's nothing you can do. That's crazy.
Yes, but if he's not trained, he has to get to me and be able to do that.
Yeah, but
Don't let them
again,
gaslight
now
you.
we're
You got
talking.
this.
Now we're talking sheer strength. Now we're just talking sheer strength as to where most fights end up on the ground. He's gonna get you on the ground. It's gonna be a horrible day for you. at 147 pounds, brother.
You're right. If he does get me there, you're right. You feel what I'm saying? You're right. But again, all I'm gonna say is I didn't see big ass people get beaten up by smaller people. And I'm not gonna say it happens a lot, but all I'm
Okay,
telling
thank
you
you.
is that smaller person, if they actually have some skill, can still kick that person ass. And if they're
And
still a
and
man.
and even the smaller skilled person, I can give you an example. Javante Davis, when he was early on, got his ass whooped outside the fucking club by a bouncer that literally motherfucking got him up out of there. Javante Davis, one of the best motherfucking boxers, hands down, but he's still 130 something fucking pounds, bro. Javante Davis is gonna have a rough day with a 200 plus pound man with any type of just shape to him. All right. Again, they not knocking niggas out at 140 something. And a lot of people think it's a lot easier than it actually is to knock people out. It's not easy to knock a motherfucker out, dog. It's not.
Facts.
Like people make it seem. So
yeah,
that's that.
Yeah, I don't mean no harm.
No, but do we see the comparison of between that which is happening?
Lee, nigga. I'm just saying, strangle Bruce Lee ass. Y'all crazy as hell, man. Yo, what's up, man? Who didn't come? Did everybody chime in? My camera been going in and out.
It's on what's the name?
Flo?
Yeah.
What's up, Flo? Flo,
What's
let me
going on,
read
guys?
these super chats real quick, and you could jump in. I'm gonna get out of here soon. Oh, where was it? Right. Oh, I read this one right. Yes.
Yeah.
D with the $5 says, we are too hard on ourselves. We have issues, but a lot of stuff is greatly exaggerated when it comes to black men and black women. Okay. As Abe with the $5 says, I don't think 2K. Oh, I read this one. Imperial with the $10 says, he said 80%. The extremes are the parts I disagree. Our women are the ones who want to be covered yet uncovered when it suits them. Independent at the same time. Eat the cake until it's gone. As Abe with the $5 says, I don't mind what he says. I admire he has the backbone to say it. Cheeky, it's okay to provide balance because I feel, and I'm saying feel, you have to have a backbone. As Abe with the $2 says, until we rule the world, black women, that's Aaron, sorry. Until we rule the world, black women, black men, war will keep going. As Abe with the $5 says, marriage means something to those who are not divorced. Divorced are the ones trying to minimize it to make themselves feel good. Okay.
Hold on. Ain't Ask Abe like not never been married and don't nobody want her old ass?
I think she married. As Abe with the $5 says, African, Jamaicans, Haitians grouped as one. Don't get along. What makes you think we should? Pan-African bullshit. Why? What are you saying? BS. Why buy America have to? Why can't they at 100% almost? I'm trying to understand. As Abe with the $2, a hammer is the greatest equalizer. Black with the $2 says, might makes right. Disprove the point. And Sam with the $10 says, cheeky, I know you're not calling out what someone looks like on YouTube. Not only do you have the YouTube uniform, don't think we don't notice. That shape up is lacking over there too. You see Cheeky Airline. John with the $5 says, yo, everybody put milk in the chat. Stupid. Cali Bev with the $2.
Prove it.
Only metric of better is fighting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Flo, what's popping?
Not a lot. Good to see you again. It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
I guess I don't know
Go ahead.
what the context of the conversation is. I thought you were talking about force doctrine, but it seems like you two might be boxing or figuring out who's better or something. I don't know.
No, I was just in the equation, but Cheeky was simply saying, because Post was saying women aren't better than men. So we were like, okay, so I asked Post a question. I said, she has the degrees, she has the money, she has the assets, like a house or something, right? Appreciating asset. That man that she's being compared to does not. Is she better? He said no, because he can come take her shit if he wanted to. I said, but she can call the police. And he said, well, the police are men. Women can't overtake men by force, therefore they're not better. And then they went into she came out of Adam Rib and some other shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, the man versus woman force thing only works if you're doing a one-on-one, really, right? Because the group is always stronger than the individual, and that's why you actually can't just go take a house from somebody. That's part of the problem with force doctrine. It's really nothing more than an observation that men are stronger than women. It doesn't actually play out in reality at all, because men and women have never divided along sex and gone to war like that.
Yeah. Hence she can call the police, because there will be other men that'll come and protect her.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And at this point, Flo, if we talk about force, just the doctrine just a little bit, is it force, or is everything so civil and structured now that force is less important?
No, I think force underlies everything still.
Regardless,
it's
even though
not
civility
utilized
is
as
high?
much.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't yeah, I think that we've got methods and structures in place to where it's actual force is used rarely, but everything's undergirded with the application of force. Why would you pay a parking ticket? Because eventually that will snowball into, now you're in jail, right? That's a show of force when you get arrested.
Okay, so the consequences or the threat is good enough, as opposed to have to actually impose it, per se.
Right.
Okay. So laws are force. So force doesn't have to be physical based on this doctrine.
No, well, I was speaking on physical force, right? No, the only way that you can enforce a fine is if you ignore the fine long enough, right? If you get your license suspended and you're driving anyways, right? You might have some fines or whatever that build up, but at some point, if you don't address those punishments, they're going to come at you with physical force.
I see what you're saying. Even if we take it out of the car thing, you're saying eventually they'll apprehend you if you continue to just ignore the rules,
Right.
regulations, laws, and guidelines. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the threat of force still undergirds everything. I don't think that we're actually nearly as civil as people like to pretend we are.
Yeah.
We just have good enough threat mechanisms that we don't actually have to use it all that much.
I've made this statement before, just based, it jogged my memory what you just said. Men, they say women aren't accountable, right? That's a sentiment. And men are more accountable. Men, in my opinion, men are more accountable because society holds us as such. Like, I don't think men are going to be turning themselves in at phenomenal rates unless we're and putting themselves in jail longer. It's just that we're prosecuted differently. We're pursued differently. The world and how things are structured holds us accountable more than women.
But who is society though?
People.
Who is society that determined that men should be held more accountable?
I think men cause more damage when they go bad.
Yeah, so essentially, like, for instance, right, there's several laws that are reactionary to something happening, right? Mm-hmm. And so oftentimes you see women have leverage in, like, family courts because men reacted in a way to women's plights, disagreements, complaints.
But to me, that means men are holding, because to me, that's still another man holding that man accountable. So I agree in the sense that particular man may not hold himself accountable, but men still hold men accountable because men are gonna make the laws and stuff to make sure that we get held accountable. Because like it really wouldn't it would be hard for society to really flow if we weren't holding other people accountable. It would be like anarchy.
Which is
like,
why,
what is an example of something that women do and are not being accountable for? Because I feel like, I mean, the laws are black and white. I mean, it's the same for everybody, regardless of gender. People can say that it's applied differently, and the statistics show that. But also, men file later, or men file for divorce only about like a third of the time or something, right? And the first to file gets the advantage. So I just think there's other things going on. I don't know that I necessarily agree men are held more accountable. I think that they're held more accountable for different things. For instance, violence, right? A man being violent is more dangerous, and they'll get held accountable quicker.
Well, Flo. So we looked it up. Cheeky actually looked it up for the same violence, right? So for the same murder one charge, men are serving, as an example, and it was a bunch of different type of crime.
It was
Violent crime.
11% to women serve less time by 11 to 30% for the exact same. So we looked it up recently, like 2 days ago. So that's a fact that women
And
are
they're
in
right.
the same account.
Yeah.
Or have the at least same,
They,
you know, have the same consequence
penalty
for said action. Yeah.
Same level.
they also have the ability that they can vote without having to be selected for the Secret Service if possible. So I don't get what you saying. You don't see how they are not held less accountable.
Do you want them to have to register to draft for the draft?
But that what I want is irrelevant. That is still less accountable.
I don't know that
That's
I
all I'm
necessarily agree
saying.
with it. Have you ever been drafted? There hasn't been a draft in a century almost. There won't be one in the future either. So this is an academic difference that really doesn't manifest into anything meaningful. None of us
You
have been
know, they
drafted.
probably
We
thought
never had to pay. We never
they
had to
probably
pay that
thought the
price.
same thing until they got drafted. It'll never be a draft
I'm
until you're the
39. I'm
one
not
that
getting
gets drafted.
drafted.
You don't know.
Flo is simply, Post is saying the accountability is the fact that men have to register. So I guess essentially, if there was a draft, then men would be accountable because they are registered for the selected service. I guess that's.
And if you don't sign up, then there's consequences that'll come behind you not signing up for the selective service.
You're right. Not everything is exactly equal, right? Men can also hoe around, and it's perfectly acceptable. And women can't.
What
So
law? What law or actual benefit other than the people themselves? Which means that that's how women see it, and that's how men see it. Because outside the people themselves, what stops a woman from being able to hoe around?
there are different forms of accountability. It's not all legal.
Okay, so give me the I guess the thing that men get the benefit from, to where you would say women aren't held accountable. You don't see how they're held accountable more than men. Why do you say that? Like, what's actually there?
If you have an unwanted pregnancy, men can just disappear way easier than women can. If a woman gets pregnant,
They can
she can't
also
be
get
like
put
this
on
no more.
child support, right?
You could, if they figure it out.
What you mean if they figure it out?
That is less accountability for having a kid.
No. That the only way what you're saying can be possible is if she doesn't know who her child's father is. If she
all
knows who her
men
child's father is, it can't happen.
do
Well,
all
let me not say
men
can't. It's not likely to happen.
do all men do all women know who the father of their child is?
No.
If you watch
Do all women who do know that, do all the men get put on child support?
No.
Do all women who get pregnant, do they always know who the mom is?
Yes.
100% of women in an unwanted pregnancy are on the hook for that kid. There's lots of fathers that have the ability to fall through.
That's not true. Because they can get an abortion, they can drop it off at a fire station, so they're not actually on the hook for that.
That's I hate to call it being responsible for it, but the woman is still on the hook for figuring out how to manage that activity, right? She's still got to go get the abortion and pay for it.
In an ideal world, yes, but from what I think happens most of the time is that men still end up paying for them abortions.
Yeah, if she knows who it is. But anyways, I was just making a point, or I was just illustrating a point that there are certain things, right, like with reproduction, where men have the ability to be less accountable than women. And with an unwanted pregnancy,
but I'm not seeing how you actually. But I'm not seeing how you actually prove that.
I mean, I don't know what kind of more proof you would need other than the fact that when a woman gets pregnant, it's the baby is inside of her fucking body, and there's no way for her to be like, this ain't mine.
No, you know that it is. I understand the argument. It falls flat. It falls not flat. It falls short though, right? Because we're ignoring people's decision making. You know, of how do we get there? You know, how do we get there to an unwanted pregnancy? You see, people are doing things consensually, you know, and then I don't think they deserve a pat on the back for quote unquote being accountable, right? Because they were first
I'm not giving them a pat on the back.
But
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not giving them a pat on the back. I'm just saying that they're
right. You know, that these parts kind of conflict. And then also we had this conversation previously too. If they are saying my body, my choice, they're literally saying I don't want you to have any say so either. You see, so if you can maintain that part of the conversation, it starts to weaken you know, kind of what you were saying, in my opinion. Now, you can retort for sure. I also want to say that I just don't want to forget. Also, I don't want them to be in selective service post though. I ain't gonna lie. I mean post work.
I agree. I actually agree, but whether I agree is not the point because it still is what it is. Even though I agree because I think it would weaken the military, but just because it's that way, don't mean that it still shouldn't be respected, and we still shouldn't identify it for what it is.
Yeah,
an extra obligation on men, right? Is that what?
What'd you say?
I don't think that men deserve respect for that. For the fact that we could be drafted if a draft were to happen. Like we didn't do anything to earn that respect. We're just born into the circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, I signed up for selective service kind of thoughtlessly, but also because you can't get scholarship money from the NCAA if you don't sign up for it. So it was kind of like, yeah, I'm going to play football, so I sign a fucking death certificate.
But that's what normally happens. It's because it'll do so much damage to the things we want to do that when we younger, we just sign up and don't even really like be thinking or be like, shit, whatever, you feel me? If not, I can't do all this other stuff I want to do. So you feel me? But it still don't change the fact that that's still an accountability metric. And whether you say we earned it or we didn't, you kind of did because you were still well, I guess you could say you didn't earn it, but you got it by being a man. So, and my point with that is to say that that is still accountability piece. If you don't have to do that, you should respect the fact that you don't have to do that. And
but folks, you know now the point you're making, you more align with what Flo's saying about the pregnancy thing. Because if it's only happenstance because of gender, and we want to call it accountability, that's damn near on the same plane as her being pregnant and having to carry the baby makes her more accountable.
No, because you can still choose to get rid of that baby.
Tangle.
Am I tripping? But you can still, because I would see if you. Well, I get. Okay, so you said if you get an abortion, that is your accountability. Is that what you?
You still have to go through the process of getting it done and paying for it if you don't know who the father, if the woman doesn't know who the father is, right? And so I wouldn't call it being responsible, but it's a form of responsibility for the situation. They still can't just ignore it until it goes away.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not being responsible. I like how you put that flow just now. I like how you put that. That resonates. To me, maybe not the post. Post ain't taking no shit today, so ain't no telling. I don't know, man.
He wants to argue back, I could tell, but it's kind of a hard position to argue from.
Because I guess I was just trying to see your viewpoint and see if I was actually getting what you were trying to say is more so what it was. Because I was kind of thinking as I was talking. That's why, if you kind of noticed, I was kind of stopping because it was like I was trying to process.
So I guess where I'm coming from is I hear a lot online, especially about women are not accountable for things. But as somebody who's been through family court a couple times, I don't really see it. I think that women, I mean, obviously women get custody most of the time. However, they are normally the ones that pursue full custody. They're the ones that file first, right? There's other circumstances that make it that way. And I had a judge that was a woman in a custody case, side with me, right? So laws are written neutrally. So
You know, I don't know if we can look this up or not, but I wonder because from what I've seen from the judicial system, a lot of times though, women seem to give men a more fair shake, and it seems like men typically give women more of a fair shake. Now that could just be my anecdotal the way that I've seen it. And I don't know like if there's something you could look that up for, like a stat for that, but like that just made me think now with what you just said.
I mean, I know what you're talking about, and I agree. I think that I've always gotten along better with female bosses, teachers, judges. If I'm dealing with somebody in a position of authority, women normally think I'm charming, and men normally think I'm insubordinate. So,
So
and both are correct.
The force thing, right? Before we get out of here, Tango, when you hear about the force doctrine, is it based on some of the offerings like Flo offered in Time West mining it out? Is it genderless more so now? Because you can take advantage of the systems, right? Like when we complain as men complain about family court, is because women can take advantage of that system, right? Because of the setups or whatever the case is, you know, and they're literally taking things based on the edification by force, child support by force, custody by force. You know, like, so is it less is it now less gender based just based on the civility of society?
Yeah, it depends on the culture that you're subject to and the entity that you're subject to.
Yeah, so
I
like
think
here,
that,
like United States, as an example.
of course, yeah, definitely, it definitely is. I think people with the force doctrine thing, the force doctrine sentiment, it's just to me, it's animalistic. Like when you're in a structured society, things are not going to operate like that because again, that's just going to be an incentive for crime. Any society that operates based upon that is going to have a criminal society. So if you're looking for any type of civility and civic structure, you can't have that applied.
Well, it's not only that, but it's just more expansive. People that use the force doctrine try to make it black and white, which is why I expanded to ideology. Right, the force doctrine only matters if we're all in alignment on what we believe and think. Right, and the only people that oppose us are the people that oppose what we believe and think. There's the reason why Russia and China are opposed to America is their ideology on Western civilization and their economic status, right? They believe in a more communistic or oligarchical, more that way, and we don't, supposedly, right? With the election of this current administration, that's under question, but it's our ideology. And the force doctrine makes more sense to apply from an ideological standpoint than it does gender or race or anything else, because those aren't the things that determine this should or shouldn't be. It's what you think that determine that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So using that for gender don't make sense, because if there's enough men that say women shouldn't get hit by men, and you're the only one that's saying I should do it, your ass getting beat. And it had nothing to do with your gender, it had everything to do with what you think.
Yeah, okay. And I agree that if the society shouldn't run that way. My only point was is that if Hamp beats my ass, I'm not gonna be talking crazy to Hamp and making it seem like that I'm better than him when he's actually proven it or done it or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm still gonna show him that level of respect. Because if it doesn't happen, I know what can happen. That was the point of it, not to necessarily say that society should run off of force doctrine, but why would you talk crazy to somebody that you know could kick your ass?
Well,
Like
they
that's
don't know
just the
that.
part to
It's like
me.
you don't know that. That's the issue. They don't know, just like you don't know. You don't know if
And
he
you
beat
would
your
have
ass,
to
so
be
you can
dealing
talk
with a
crazy.
rational individual as well. You would have that. You have to be dealing with somebody that's rational. So
I get that. That is a complete fair point, Tango.
Yeah. He liked that point.
No, because it's nothing I can say to that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I got you. Mahogany was popping with the 20 ball. Says next weekend, Hamp Rec Shop. See you at the event. Yes, ma'am. Looking forward to it, man. I'm about to go to the gym now, man. These last few days. But I appreciate you, man. Can't wait to actually meet you in person, man. What you think? Flo, any other thoughts on the Force thing?
I think it's not reflective of reality. It's not a doctrine, and it's artificial intellectualism, right? It's just an observation that stronger people win fights. Yeah. It doesn't make a claim about whether something's right or wrong. It tries to split genders, but that's not actually how we see reality working at all. There's not a dude on here that would back any other panelist over like their wife or their daughter or their mom, right? So I just think it's kind of an absurd take for several reasons.
Yeah.
I do agree though that men are stronger than women. That's about
Yeah. And I think we understand. I think it was well put. I think by all of y'all just now, just the things that are enforced, and they're enforced for whomever's going against them, by and for whomever's going against them. That's what it essentially boils down to most often. And gender really is less important. You know, we just look at effectiveness in several arenas. Who's more effective in the arena? Like I asked this question before. If you had a task ahead of you, right, Tenga? You have no clue what the task is. It could be physical, mental, emotional, right? Who would you bring with you? An average man or an average woman? It's hard,
based upon my experience, I have to say a man.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't know what the task could be physical, I would that leans to being with the male.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. Like, who can help me because I don't know what it is, right? So if I have to move something, but then there's other arguments like, well, women are flexible. I'm like, well, that only benefited me for one thing. So, but it's just interesting convo, man. Damn, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I think it was a great convo. I was just looking at the grudge and what we can't let go of, which is causing us to be in this perpetual state of hell and disagreements. When we're talking about the accountability thing, I like the offerings. One thing that popped in my head was humility. I think humility is lacking, and I think that causes the most strife. When we're talking about women aren't accountable, I think a lot of it is more about being humble when you're achieving greatness, when you're going up on a ladder, and who you look down upon, I think causes the biggest strife. That's what I'm often hearing. And I think deference and grace need to be given. Uh, and if either one are lacking on either side, I think you see a lot of dissension, and that's when things get contentious. But the grudge, man, it's like we can't let this shit go. Tango, what you think, man? Any final thoughts?
No, man, it was a pleasure speaking with y'all, brothers, man. All I would say is, man, do your due diligence before you formulate drastic opinions, because if not, you're gonna look crazy.
That's a fact. Tango too. Somebody had put in a comment just 3 days ago. He's like, "Hey, Hamp, where's the Tango verse Mr. Fantastic conversation?" I'm like, I gotta get with those brothers, man.
Hey, I'm up for it.
Yeah, you said that the first 10 times. We waiting on brother 3 times. So, Cheek, what you think, man? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I think if you want the perspective to change of the people you're trying to talk to or date or whatever, just pay attention to your own ideology and your own communication. I'm not going to expect people to give up rights or privileges or whatever the case, if they've already experienced it, and it's a net benefit to society as well as the household. So yeah, that's my thing. If you want to be somebody that's likable or not likable, but if you want to people to agree with you, present something that makes sense factually and just socially. That's my thing.
Yeah. Word. Flo, what you think, man?
Thanks for having me up. Good seeing everybody. It's been a minute, and no, I think that men have I think men have a better chance of family court than the narrative out here would lead them to believe, and so that's something that I frequently push back against, because anecdotally, I've had successes in family court far more than failures, and I think that it really comes down to men need to file first, and men need to pursue the things that they want more actively, and then if they do that, then they won't be at a disadvantage. But I think the narrative out there that men are automatically at a disadvantage is harmful to men, who then decide not to engage something where they could have, won if they just engaged it fully.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. A lot of assumptions are being made, for sure. We assume the worst and then therefore kind of acquiesce or not, 100%. Post, what you think, man? Any final thoughts, Playboy?
Yes, sir. You got a fight in 2 weeks. Is that what they said?
Next week, next Saturday, in Vegas.
I still agree with 2K. We out.
Oh man. Salute, fellas, man. Dope show. Foe was busy today, so we might do some music maybe later on today or tomorrow or something like that. But let this marinate, man. The grudge that we have amongst each other. How well is it serving us? How well are we listening to one another? I think that we can get further faster if you are willing to be wrong. Concession, I think, is the key, right? You can find common ground that way. If you're unwilling to concede, you do the conversation a disservice most often. So let's try to figure it out, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend. We out.
Yeah. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast, yeah. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels, and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing, jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. Let's go. This might be risky. No, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show.